Hello team, welcome to Next Level JJ. I'm JJ and yeah, today we're just gonna have a bit of fun with Hades 1 and Hades 2. Now, as I'm sure you've seen, I've actually updated the thumbnail of this. I was playing Hades 2 quite a lot recently and slowly sort of started having this thought in the back of my mind, like, why am I not playing Hades 1 anymore? Hades 1 was a game that I would just fire up randomly, you know, once I've really completed it. And it just dawned on me that it's still a fantastic game and I need to play it. Now, if you watch one of my other Hades streams, I did flip from Hades 2 to Hades 1 and just did a short little stage run there, but today I thought, why don't we do it properly? So we are going to start with Hades 2. We're going to do a run, you know, not super high level, maybe something in the 16 range, just got a bit of challenge. I'll explain what that is in a minute if you don't know what that means. But then, yeah, just flip into Hades 1 after that and do the same. And just kind of get a back-to-back feeling of both games, because graphically, they're not that big a difference. And then gameplay, they've got a lot of similarities. And I think it's also going to be quite cool because it will show a lot of the stuff that has moved from Hades 1 into Hades 2. Now, before we get into that, if it's your first time here, welcome. What is this channel all about? So Next Level JJ, I am not next level, maybe in some things, but the whole point is us as a team are going to take things to the next level. So be it the actual channel itself, and I'm always asking for feedback from you, you know, what are cool things that we can do to make this channel better together, but then also looking into specific games and seeing, you know, what are some of the key things that we can do to improve the way we play. Now, if you want to learn more about me, no better place than nextleveljj.com. Go and check it out. All my socials are there. There's a way for you to sign up. There's a top 100 list that I'm going to start working on next week. Definitely want you to go check that out. Also, it contains my schedule, so I do sort of towards the end of every weekend set up the schedule for the next weekend, so you can see which games I'm going to play. I'm not a one game fits all kind of a person. I like playing multiple different types of games, you know, from Battlefield 6 to Hades to a flight sim like DCS to Sea of Thieves. So yeah, it'd be good to have you enjoy the journey with us and get some feedback on some of these games we play. Now, some of you might notice that the streams that I was supposed to do the last couple of days did not go live. Unfortunately, I was quite ill and had to horizontalize my perpendicular for a few days to sort that out. But we're back now, voice is back, and so, yeah, let's kick some ass. As usual, the music that I'm using throughout my stream is Stream Beats by Harris Heller. You know, I shout them out all the time. They're great. Go and have a listen to them. Super cool music. If you're stuck in traffic, I can imagine this will just inspire you to get home and get out and have some fun with it. Other than that, I've got a stream later today where I'm going to just be playing Rust. If you don't know what Rust is, it's quite a popular game that I never knew about until about half a year ago. And then I started watching a particular person's stream, a guy by the name of William, and just really enjoyed it, especially the way he does his streams. But on top of that, more just how the game loop works, how you can build out your own bases and stuff like that. And so I'm a complete noob at it, but I'm gonna give it a go, build a cool house, see if we can have a bit of a hemp factory going and so forth. So should be a lot of fun. But again, what is the focus for today? The focus for today is Hades 2 versus Hades 1. Now, what we're going to do here is I'm going to fire up Hades 2, and I might be mid-game. I can't remember where I left it off. So if we are, we'll just reset and start from scratch, and then we'll go through it. Again, for most of you who've watched my streams, you've probably got a good idea now of all the things that you can do in it. But I'll just give a quick little overview of some of the functionality in it. And then after that, we'll get into it. We'll go through, try and do a quick run. I'm still at odds if I'm going to go up or down. I suspect it's probably going to be better going down because it's very similar. I'll explain what that is in a minute as well. But yeah, just have a bit of fun. But most importantly, I'd love to get your feedback. You know, if you are joining our stream, you know, say hello, give us some feedback, and yeah, just have a lot of fun. All right, so we're gonna turn up the Hades music and then slowly come down on that. Hey, and if you want to add to the comments below, like, have you been enjoying Hades 2? If not, are you thinking about buying it? Be really, really good to hear what you think. All right, cool. So good old Hades 2, and I now just, because I've got, by the way, if you're wondering what I'm playing with, it's just an old PS4 Pro controller. This one in particular is actually going to be running both games. So basically I have to plug it in, and that then gives me the capability of using it, there we go, via stream. And then when I want to switch to Hades 1, I just pull it out and push the PlayStation button, and then the PlayStation, the brick down here, will just pick it up and be good to go. Beautiful. All right. Well, we're back into Hades 2. Now just make sure the volume's right for us here. Excellent. Now, I've been really enjoying it. I'm still editing my video on Is Hades 2 Perfect, and it keeps evolving. But I'm going to break it down into a part 1, part 2, and probably even a part 3, because there is so much to talk about. But in between, just anytime I've got a bit of spare time, while I was sick especially as well, I was just smashing out Hades. And it's a compliment. The game loop is very, very good. There's some people I've heard that complain about the ending. I wonder if they're playing it all the way to the end, or if they just went through until you got to the credits and then gave up. Because Hades 1 was the same. How people easily forget. Hades 1, when it ended, it was sort of like, is that it? And then it turned out not to just be that it, because the more you play, the more you loops, the more story you get. So it really is one of those games that once you finished it, really only does the story start. All right, so let's fly up a little bit. So things have changed. Hypnos has been woken up. I won't spoil how that happened. Some of the characters have advanced. If you haven't seen it before, I've got a bath now, which is quite a interesting spot to hang out with some friends. Also, I have concocted a large list of things. So as you play the game, you'll learn to unlock things that makes your character stronger. You have to concoct it. A very unique way of doing things. In Hades 1, which, again, we'll have a look at in a minute, you didn't really concoct things, you more bought things. And so it's a different spin, but on the same concept. Oh, all right. You also can do decorations and stuff, very similar to Hades. Interesting enough, when we go into Hades 1, basically I've maxed the game. So, all the decoration stuff are done. Don't know if you remember from last time, but I've added a bar. Of course I did. If you had a long, hard day of slaying, evil ghosts and stuff like that, where do you come? Obviously for a pizza and well, I guess it's not going to be a beer. It's probably going to be something a little bit more delicious. So, yeah, let's head on down. There we go. Good old Tula. So, if you didn't know, you have pets in Hades 2, which is really cool, and you have different types of pets. I've kind of fallen on Tula. Tula, basically, you'll see, I just activate her by running over her, and then she goes and attacks things in stage. And a lot of time it's useful because if you're running away because you're about to get damaged quite badly, you can basically just have Tula keep up the damage, keep hurting them, and she can do quite a lot of damage, actually. Let's just go here and give her a pet. And then a treat, and I'll show you some of her mad skills. Good kitty. Also, she's really good at fishing. Right, so
you're getting stronger.
Beautiful. So you can see she's ranked up on all 3 levels. So basically, she gives me Death Defiance effects, which is great. There's more chance for me to find a fishing point, but she also does the fishing for me, which I miss. I enjoy catching fish normally. And then also she, hurts them quite a lot before she loses interest. But the interesting thing is once she loses interest, you just run over again and she goes again. So, bang.
To try one myself.
Ooh, there we go. We can upgrade that even more. Wonderful. Now, from a weapon standpoint, it's been a lot of fun. When I came into Hades 2, when I started seeing the weapons, I was kind of disappointed because you really get used to the freaking cool weapons that you have in Hades 1. More on that later. But at the same time, you kind of appreciate the fact that they've not gone down that route. You're a different person, you're from a different place, and so you do have different weapons. I would really hope, if it doesn't happen at some point, naturally in the game, if maybe they do a DLC, an idea would be that you play Hades 1 through Hades 2. Like, imagine that. So you can Spoiler alert, there are some things that happen towards the end of the game which allow you to time travel as it may. Why not just travel back to when it was time for Zagreus, but instead of Zagreus, you're running around as Melanui? And so you can use some of those weapons. Even cooler idea, why don't you have a co-op multiplayer functionality where two people, one can play as Hades, and one can play as Melanui, and the other one as Zagreus. Please, please. Do that. We love that. Also, I will hope to remember this, but here is
Thank you for having faith in him and me.
Zagreus' biggest fan. So if you've ever watched any person who really knows Hades 1 well, when they do a Hades 1 run, there's a particular place where you're in a stadium and you face off against a plonker and a really horny dude. Probably listening to Chariots of Fire. But then once you've beaten them, you can actually say hello to your biggest fan, which is such a cool nod to the game. Yes, I have reached level 32. These statues are when you reach a certain level of pain. And so the gold one over here is quite crazy, these statues. Yeah. Also, as something that's really cool, a lot of times you can get into a groove where you just use the same weapons. And one thing they've done in Hades 2 which is really cool is the Trial of Origin. And so basically it's a preset configuration of a stage and a weapon and the actual boons that you have for the weapon. And so you can see basically every time you clear them, you can get rewards, and then eventually they add more. But the cool thing is it will show you how extremely powerful a particular aspect or weapon can be if used in a certain combination and stuff like that. And so I applaud Supergiant Games. I think it was really cool that they put that in. As for weapons, so, there's quite a large list of them. Not all of them as many as Hades 1. Hades 1, most of them had 3 or 4 different, aspects. But still, very cool, very cool. I have completed levels 32 with this particular one here, and that is the aspect of Eos. No, I lie. It was an aspect of Eos, sorry. It was the aspect of Momus. This one is extremely powerful, and I'll tell you why. When you're playing at high levels, 32 and so forth, you are consistently trying to be where the damage is not. I know that sounds obvious, but the whole idea here is when you have consistent fire, and if you take damage in this game, it really hurts. You really want to avoid taking damage. And so you're constantly running away or strategically running into gaps. And that means you've got to kind of stop, turn around and fire in many cases, depending on your weapon. But this weapon, right? And sorry, it was an aspect of Mobus. It was, geez, get your stuff right, mate. It was, sorry, I just had the wrong selected. So you see there, when you drop an Omega attack is when you hold the button like this. That's special, that's triangle. You see it puts a little snake of unhappiness, as I call it, down. And so it will keep shooting that particular Omega skill. And this is fantastic, because basically you can run in, drop this, fire this, and shoot this, and just walk away. And it just keeps shooting. So, yeah, I've been really enjoying that. It just makes it very easy to run high power builds. But it's not necessarily the most fun. So I think what we'll do,
How about
another skill or aspect or weapon that I've been running around is the aspect of Melanui. And so here you basically have these particular skulls. And what happens, you'll notice, 60 damage, 52 damage, 64 damage. So they consistently start doing more and more damage. Technically, it was weird that one didn't, but let's see. 40, 52, yeah, game just closed. And so that can start stacking up very quickly. So we'll have a bit of fun with that. Now, I was talking about pain earlier. If you go, what the fang is pain? So basically,
light?
you
Know her will.
ooh, you can make things harder for yourself, which is important because eventually you're just going to smash this game out, and you need to have something that challenges you. And the game also makes it so that it's worthwhile you doing that. You unlock new stuff, the storyline progresses. So trust me, once you finish the game once, that's actually really where the game starts. And so in this case, as we can see, just towards the left side there, you'll see there's a white skull just above the word champion. And so basically it means that if I push my pain, as I call it, up to 8, then I will be able to do a particular boss fight, which will then give me a reward for doing it. And so we'll push this up. So I find that giving my foes more life isn't too bad a pain. Also 2 shields. It can be quite annoying, but it means that the first 2 hits that they take doesn't do any damage. Then I also found that
This I vow.
this one in particular is interesting. So when you kill a bad guy, they have a 50% chance to become a reverend. All right. And so that is kind of cool in the sense that if you don't clear them out quickly enough, they can come back. All right, and here we go. I have no problem with the running the menace. If you get monsters from a next region, it means that they're generally more powerful, they have more skill. But if you've played this game enough, as I have, you now get to a point where you understand how it works. And so you don't really bat an eyelid, they're just bad guys and you run the formula. Okay, so we're up to level 8. I did say let's go to level 16, so let's find something else that we can use that will make it interesting. Yeah, so let's add a lot more bad guys, just to have a lot of activity around us. And we'll give some perks just to make it fun. Okay, now interesting. So that means I could remove one of those. Cool. Okay. No, did we say 16? We said 16. We said 16. Well, there we go. 16 it is. Okay. Cool. And so you'll see top left, 16 is now our target. All right, a little bit of coffee. Cheers. Also, by the way, you'll notice the logo just down here looks a bit odd. That's a Hades 1 logo on top of a Hades 2 logo. I did it especially for the stream. By the way, I am a few minutes late. That was because I had creative genius that flowed for me, and then I started video editing. So the thumbnail to this video was slapped together within 30 minutes. But basically, I had to cut it in such a way that Hades 1 and Hades 2 logo. It was a lot of fun, but yeah, sometimes trying to do these things a few minutes before you go live, not the best idea. Delicious. Also, the lighting that I'm using at the moment is something new I'm trying, because in the day when I stream, the light is coming from there, and so my face actually becomes like Harvey Two-Face, black on the one side. And so I've got this light in front of me, and I'd like to get your feedback. Like, is it too bright? You know, we can bring it down a bit, make it a little bit more natural. Actually, yeah. There we go. All fun. All right, let's go kick some ass in Hades 2. Cool.
All part of our new face. No trace of the old Kronos shall remain.
Cool. Now, I do by default run Moonbeam. So basically, this keepsake means that anytime I get a boon from Selene, which you'll see in a second, enables our hex, it gives me +5 upgrades. I try to run this for the first 2 stages, and the whole point of that is just when you can get your hex really working well, you are quite powerful. And so I try to get as many upgrades as possible at the start. So you'll see as we progress how that works.
Salutations.
Darkness guide you.
Yeah, sure.
I call upon the moon and draw you down.
Such a joyous night it was when you and your headmistress and the goddess of the hunt and I all rode together on my steeds. Now we are each once more where we belong, but the Silver Sisters are never truly apart.
Oh, nice of you to say that. Also, when when you run that keepsake, it means there's a much higher chance that when you start your actual run that you get that particular god or boon or whatever. And so in this case, I got her because I did select her from the start. Okay, let's see. None of them are good. They're not bad, they're just not really good. So obviously this slows down time, which is great, but yeah, I guess it can be useful. I've never actually run it to see what more it does. Actually, you know what, let's have a bit of fun. We're going to try this one out today, because where it starts 50% slow in 4 seconds is not where it ends. You actually have a tree that you can go through and upgrade it. The other one is quite cool. So after you've killed something, you can raise it. It's a bit of thinking, and you know, sometimes you can get confused if it's yours or not. And then this is quite okay. I ran it the other day. You basically become impervious and you just fire a laser at bad guys. It's okay, but let's have a bit of fun. Okay, so activate Tula. Watch Tula go. Meow. You see that green? If I don't pick that up within a certain amount of seconds, it respawns the bad guys. Yeah, that was a bit of a messy start, I'm not gonna lie. I was like, what the fuck's happening? And yeah, I completely forgot that my hex slows down time. So I'm still used to the previous run. Something you'll find when you play a Hades 2, you spend a good 45 minutes, half an hour, 45 minutes, building up a particular build, and then it kind of becomes hardwired in your brain. And then when you start the next run, your brain is still thinking across the other weapon and stuff. So it does take a few seconds for you to get it sorted. All right, okay, so here we go. Activate the cat.
Ash of the dead.
Cool. Slow-mo time.
Tula, fish. And caught.
All right. So, interesting question. You see, do I want to set people's ass on fire, or do I want to push them away with water? Interesting with water is quite good, because especially with this, you push people away from you, and that does help a lot. So we'll probably go for that. See what I mean by Tula? The gift that keeps on giving. Oh.
The trident sigil.
What is this about having to confront Kronos in other times, and even Typhon too? I'll not pretend to understand, but if this is the cost of peace, I'll pay my share without a second thought.
Nice one. Bugger. Okay, so this is interesting. It is epic on the special. I kind of wanted it on Wave Strike, but at the same time this can be quite useful, because as you saw with special, as I come barging in, that's usually to come and collect my skulls, and you do take damage when you're running that special, and so this can be quite useful because it just means that it pushes things out of the way. So what I'm referring to is this, but you see now I'll be pushing them away. Cool. Let's go and hang out with Chaos. Oh, hey, Nix.
Great night. I am honored, O Knight.
I am grateful. How unusual to see you here. My great ancestor and I have much to discuss, and shall resume after you take your leave.
Oh, forgive my rudeness having interrupted. Shall you come visit us at the crossroads again soon, O Knight?
Sporadic visits are a possibility, especially after the House of Hades is entirely restored. Although my wish is for my children to be wholly independent of my influence.
Many mothers must feel the same way.
I do not know their feelings, only mine.
Definitely, if we can gift, give a gift.
I wish to make an offering to you, O Knight. For always concealing the crossroads where I grew up, for the nocturnal arms, and all the many other gifts you bestowed.
I thank you for this, child. And may the nocturnal arms long serve you as a keepsake of sorts from me. For the Witch of the Crossroads says you wield them with skill and grace.
She does she?
Interesting.
I am at your service.
I accept it.
Okay, jeez. All right,
Moonlight guide us.
will do. What's cooking, Chaos? Ooh. Okay. So these are all really nice in a different way, but definitely this one is going to be the one. If we can have all our boons be rare or better, that'll be good. Of course, getting a lot of money is also very useful in this game, but let's have fun with this one. Oh, we get a second bite at the cherry. Plus, the sprint is not that big a penalty. Cool. Okay, slow down time. See, it's not really that good, but maybe it'll get better. Come on, Tula, do something.
They got through. Hear me on my authority.
Yes, that's what we wanted. All right, we are a water type. Cool.
You're a long way from a fear. Tula now. From the forge.
Yeah, it looks pretty easy, but that's also because I've got two epic weapons very early on in the game. So, yeah, it's a good start. Lucky so far.
Kronos keeps on lending us hand to deal with what he did to us, but still, I reckoned he'd be back to his own self by now, but mayhap you scrambled him enough that it'll stick.
Alright, so if a foe is near you after you dash, you can blast damage them. Yeah. No brainer on this one. This one's quite cool because basically if you dash towards somebody, it creates quite a lot of damage for them, but it does take some time to recharge, and you've got to listen out. It's a bit of effort. Whereas the bottom one, this is fantastic. Most of my build here is going to be running attack and special damage, and to do 60% damage to armor, which is usually the majority of what bad guys have in later stages. No brainer. All right.
More cocoons.
And notice how it pushes them back, which is fantastic, especially when it gets really busy. Beautiful. Now, I'm not going to go to shop yet. You'll see top right, which you will if I take my face out of it. You'll see top right, it says location 7. Now, that means that it's the 7th location, 7th mini stage that I'm on right now. And so generally what happens is if you move into the 11/12th one, that's when you go and face this stage or this level's boss. And so you will get the opportunity to go to a shop always before that. Well, not always, but most of the time. And so at this point, I'm not going to go to shop. To be fair, I don't have a lot of cash, so I'm not going to do it either. And health is always a good thing in this game, especially at higher levels. This water is doing so much damage. Okay, and slow it down. Like seriously, just pushing them out of the way. It's great. It's fantastic. And boom. From now on, my boons will be have a 64% chance of being rare or better. Go, kitty!
It's over.
Mober. Alright, interesting. I'm at the stage now where I call them Granny's bones or Granny's ashes. They're not really that important to me anymore. But I have done a concoction, which means that if I take Granny's bones, I get more mana or magic, the blue stuff in the bottom left that you use when you're doing Omega stuff like that. But then Granny's ashes gives me life. Now in this particular run, mana magic is not going to be that important, so yeah. We'll go with Granny's ashes. Come on, cat, wake up. Meow. All right, Artemis is joining in. That just means that there'll be a little bit more fighting to do, but that use all kinds of unique French words I wanted to use. There we go. Slow down time. Yeah. That was a proper challenge, I'm not going to lie. That is true. Now, if you're watching this and you've never played this game and you're like, that is a lot going on at the same time, trust me, you get used to it. Eventually you understand a bit more the mechanics of the game and how you can run between monsters basically after you've come from a different direction. And so if I'm standing bottom right and all of them are focusing their attention as they start firing in that direction, I can then basically run around that and run through them. So it is something you learn about. It's not an exact science, and you do sometimes get it horribly wrong, especially at high levels. You can just get trapped. But in general, it's actually very comfortable for you to be up close with bad guys once you understand their mechanics. Anyway, enough of that.
Moonlight guide you.
You as well. We're quite the team, aren't we?
Yes.
Without Sisters Hecate and Selene backing us up. Shame that we all have to spread out most of the time.
We do have several rounds to watch. But yes, I have to say it's been a pleasure working with you recently. Singing with you, having your friendship.
And don't get sentimental on me, sister. This is business. And though the world we live in may be looking a bit bleak, at least business is good.
Yes. I'll explain what that is in a second. Okay, so a random foe casually gets marked. That's very powerful. It just means that when they're marked, that there's a chance, a 30% chance of me doing critical damage to them. Critical damage being that you do a 200% damage. But this one's very cool. I'll tell you why. Firstly, because it's epic. But after you hit with your attacks or specials, fire a seeking arrow. Now remember, at this moment I'm shooting, what is it, like 5 or 6 goals? And all of them should hit. And so I automatically add another 120 odd damage just by these arrows. So very powerful, but also I can add more skulls later if I get the right hammer. It does, however, mean that the screen becomes very busy. You have a lot of shit flying around, so it is a bit heavy on the brain. But we'll give it a go. This one, foes in your cast, yeah, whatever. Yes, thank you. How about slow it down? Oh, so it was 4 skulls. Weird, I always thought that I had more. Let's have a look. Oh, it's power increase per, that's what. Okay, so we always can take a bit of money. Holy hell, what did I walk into? I need your help. Don't forget to pick these things up. Ish, okay. Didn't panic, not even for a second. Ow. Damn. Far out.
Suffer no more.
Yeah, not gonna lie, that was quite a a hello moment there. Alright. How's our health looking? Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. It'd be terrible to die. So basically, from now until 3 stages, every time I go in, I'll get a 10% additional life, which at this point will be, what, 8.7, which is not a lot, but anyway, Granny's Ashes, 17 it is. See how they teleport? That's that thing I added, which says that if they have armor, they have magic perks. Okay, slow down time. I'll tell you what is interesting though, is so this particular situation that I've got where I can slow down time, I think that would be very useful in particular melee builds where you are genuinely you're really going to be up close in people's faces, and being able to slow down time and then deliver heavy damage, it's quite good. Alright, so push up the volume a bit. Okay, so I went to the shop, and the reason why is because we're at location 12, so we knew that shop just before the boss.
Let me help you.
Notice Melanoe's different hands. See the right one versus the left one?
A soul no longer lost.
You'll see it in the artwork. I have not heard the story yet, I believe, as to why her left hand has been cut off and it's a spooky hand now. Maybe they'll still explain that later. Yes! Reason why I say yes, the hammer, especially for the aspect of Melanoe can give me, I think, like 3 or 4 additional shells. That's very useful. So, let's hope. Ah, there we go. 2 additional shells. Specials are more faster, and whenever your shells land, they deal 50% of your attack damage around them. It's pretty good, but 2 additional shells. Remember,
Did this skull just smile?
yeah, we also have this. So it means I've just added an additional 40 damage to it. So we've got 6 of them. Cool.
Salutations.
Absolutely. Thanks, Karen.
And you as well, boatman.
Revive. Olympus has emboldened you, made you strong. Yet 'tis a fleeting strength. One false step, and I could wipe it all away.
I'll take a fleeting strength over no strength at all. We take every advantage that avails itself.
Just so. Then come and show me how you would make use of such advantages.
I release you.
There we go. A good use of slowing down time. Let's not get cursed. Yeah, that thing she shoots at you turns you into a hilarious animal for a few seconds. Very funny, not very good for health. Alright, here we go. I did not do what I wanted to there. But definitely showed her his boss.
Thank you, headmistress. Grandfather.
See, so as I mentioned before, I'm running the Path of Stars keepsake, and I haven't actually used it per se, even though it did give me the hex from the start. It's really when I get the next moon that it makes a difference. But we unlocked this, the Jeweled Palm. That's from a previous game I played. While at the Fate's Whim, gain random Hades blessing, and most boons have +1 level. Interesting. While at the Fate's Whim, gain a random Hades blessing, and most boons have +1. So Fate's Whim, this night you have 0 of those, little game cubes that you can roll around, and avoided Olympian summoning keepsakes. Interesting. Okay. I'll have to dig into that a little bit deeper. But for now, we'll stick with the moon. Okay. So, this might give away a little bit of information about how the story ends. So, if you are still going to be playing the campaign itself, maybe just skip ahead 30 seconds or so.
Moonlight guide us.
Is that what you say?
And hopefully you skip. Here we go.
All right if I occasionally meet you thus, granddaughter. I know our prior conversations here in Erebus were fraught, but I would dearly like to start anew.
I'll have to learn not to attack you here on sight, but let's give it a shot. What is it about this place that's so special?
Well, it is rather sentimental, but this is where you and I first met. In our time. Now that my memories are all mixed up, it is a moment which I realize I cherish. I had already heard so much about you, seen you grow up.
It must feel strange to have known of me before I was even born. In any case, I'll see you when I'm closer to our goal.
I shall be looking forward to it.
And welcome back. Cool, health is full. we're not really using Flicker at the moment, and our money is not big enough for that to be useful. So let's proceed. Cool, remember, we're going to be trying to push through this quickly and then move over to Hades 1, which is super exciting. There we go, that's good news.
That song again.
Again, this particular boon that I'm running with Poseidon, it's making it so easy because I'm just basically pushing back bad guys as they attack me. That would not have been that easy. But basically, as they're traveling towards me, I am bitch slapping them back with some water.
Choose your path.
So this is what I was mentioning. So you see that 8? That would have been 5 or less upgrades for the Path of Stars. But because I'm running that keepsake, it gives me a lot more. Okay, so this is the first time that I'm looking at the Path of Stars for this particular hex type, which is the slowing time down. And so I like to start at the end. You see the purple one, the Sublime. During your hex, which is when I slow down time, you have a 10% chance to deal critical damage, which is really cool. Okay, so now we try to figure out which path is the best path for us to take. So here, after using your hex, you take -2 damage for that encounter. That's useful. So this is quite a defensive hex, and like I said, I think it might be very useful if you have a particular, like, more melee style build. The other one is your hex automatically charges up 1 for every second, which is useful. So if you don't know what that means, is when you use your Omega cast, which uses that magic, that actually charges up your hex. But if you have this, then every second it will tick away and charge up. Okay, but that's not so critical. It's more like your hex lasts a little bit longer, and whenever you enter a location, your hex is already at 40%, which is quite useful. I like the fact that it's already charging up. So we'll start with this path. And the great thing again, because I've got that keepsake, watch this. Bang, 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 bang. And I would have probably had to stop here if I didn't have it. And so, let's see. It lasts a little bit longer after using a hex. Less damage. Okay, and boom. Just like that, we got straight to the end. Now we start looking at other things. Like, during your hex, your moves strikes 30% faster. That's good. And then this one is, during your hex, gain 1% damage per foe slain, which lasts until you use it again. Interesting. Also, your hex lasts longer. Yeah, I'm not that impressed, really. You know, they're kind of meh. Like, during your hex, gain 1% damage. So if I were to kill 1 or 2 monsters, I get 2% damage buff until I use it again. Whoop, whoop. Wow. Sorry, I know this is not the most amazing thing I've ever done. But anyway, then let's rather go this route. Cool. Now, if you haven't seen this before, you'll see that there's only one option for me at the moment. I can go gold. But you can unseal this, but you've got to fight for it.
I'm soaked.
Soaked. That was a good use of that. What was that during your hex? Oh, yeah, you have a chance to be critical. Problem with if they... Oh, what the hell? Damn. You see, this is not good. I'm not gonna lie, this is more hardcore than I've experienced. Jeez. Yeah, wow. That's an interesting question. You see, the splash damage goes up 5. I want to do a bit of calculation here. It's not that powerful. I'd actually trade that in for something else if I can. But that's a 20% damage buff to armor, which is quite powerful.
Tucked away. Some assistance, please.
Go, kitty! Meow.
Sorry. Hey, a chitin.
You shit on what? Okay, so you see, I could be tempted to go for the shop, but again, location 17, so 12 times 2 is 24, so roughly around 23, 22. That's when you'd actually get the shop before you go to the boss. So we will ignore that and we'll keep working on our health. I can alter, so let's alter. See if I get something useful. Okay, that's useful. Come on, kitty.
You again.
Yeah, me.
Death to Kronos?
These riches were nothing. Back when we used to spar, almost never got a clean hit in on you. You'd always slip out of the way.
What choice did I have? One clean hit from you was more than I could take back then. But I'd been practicing.
You're tougher, yeah. Though by how much? How about I hit you right now, and if you can take it, you'll get this nice reward I found. Deal?
I don't see any red flags. Okay. So, free hit. Invite Nemesis to take her best shot. She'll deal 13 damage. And then I get 25 additional life. Accept?
Ah, good. Catch.
Do it again. What? Please, please, please. What's an anticlimax? I mean, I guess if you were really low on life and that happened and she killed you, it'd suck nuts. Yeah. Alright, but thanks for the life, I guess. Alright, let's go and get some Demeter action.
Remember the moon serpent?
Slow down time. We have more chance to do critical damage.
See that, Thelma?
Now, I'm not going to say that that happened because I was able to slow down time, but what it didn't do is just give me that opportunity to just drop everything I've got on the, snaky thingy-bobble. So, yeah, not bad. Now, if you haven't played Hades 2 yet, Hades 1 as well, it's every time you meet a god, an Olympian, any sort of characters, NPCs in the game, they have these heart bars. And basically you unlock additional story and stuff like that as you give them, various drinks and fishing trips and stuff like that. And so anytime I meet a particular god, I quickly have a look to see if there's something I can do to push the story along. Then I also do this, and I go and have a look at my gifts and see, well, how many nectars do I have? Nectar's kind of the most predominantly used one. And so if I have one left, I'll keep it for a special god, somebody that I don't run into very often. There are some of these characters, NPCs, that you very rarely see. And so when you get an opportunity to give them nectar, it's better than Demeter, who you see almost every run. And so in this case, I'm not going to gift, I'm just going to accept.
Never forgive Kronos, nor do I wish to see his wretched countenance again. But if whatever spell you cast on him has truly withered his ambitions, then so be it. Perhaps there was no other way.
Okay, so very useful. So cast is fantastic in the sense that you are able to drop it and run. And in this case, freeze is great because obviously, well, it's going to freeze them a little bit. And so very useful, but also does damage. So I think I'm going to go for that.
Again, her foe.
And so, see, when I drop that, that's gonna just cause people's days to suck a wee bit. Again, Granny's ashes. We want life. Ah, that was not good. Again, very useful. See how it freezes them?
Last one.
Didn't use my time slowdown. Sorry if I seem a bit distracted. Sometimes to test my stream while we listen to this very cool music, I open up my actual website, nextleveljj.com, and just go and click the link to open up the YouTube and just to see from a different perspective. But I'm really, really liking this thumbnail. Like, it was really cool. I might use it again at some point. Split screen technology.
I do have gold to spare.
Ooh, that's going to be useful. And this will do a lot of damage. But we need our cash, so let's trust our capabilities. Definitely a lot going on. And when I get nectar, I also get a level up. Arctic ring. Ooh. This is good. But at the same time, if you take any damage, it's worthless. So you really got to set your mind on being very defensive. Try to stay far away from the fight. Okay, let's go. Ah, far out. So it only takes damage if you do that. Come on, Tula, do something with your life. Okay, this is useful. I'm going to try and... Damn it! I did take damage, but not enough for me not to be able to claim.
Thank you, Nix.
Phew. Cool. And so usually you would just get one, but I think because I've got that particular keepsake, I get 3. Now, ooh, very exciting. Hang on, let me take my ugly face out again. So you'll notice that something has changed. Now, all of a sudden, you have this Squall of Demeter. And so when you get duo boons, but with Seleni's Path of Stars, you unlock this additional path. And so you can see there it says your hex can be godsend, so it makes it super powerful. So all foes take 20 damage every 0.2 seconds during the effect. So that's fantastic. All foes are just basically over a period of 1 second getting 100 damage. But because I've got an additional point, I can then enable this, which means when I do big bosses, guardians, I can use that godsend 2 times. Winning! Alright. I'm going to use this. This is good because, as you can see, it just means that when I come into a new location, I've already got 40% charged up, which means I can start using my hex a little bit sooner.
Your path has led to Demeter.
Yes, that is an absolute win. Okay, interesting. So we've got a lot of water skills, but not that much electricity. So I like to switch it up a bit. Let's go... and let's test out that new skill. See, so everybody's taking damage. Wonderful. So here, we push up. You can see nothing really special to unlock with him, so I'm not going to gift him.
I noted that your father and I thought of something suitable for Kronos, for I do not want him here. He shall preside over the Isles of the Blessed, near to Elysium, in your domain. An honorary post befitting one of his experience.
Do I have any electrical spells? Strange. I don't think so. But see, your strikes emit chain lightning. Ah, okay. So any sort of damage that I do emits chain lightning. But I lose 50 of my mana, which I'm okay with, actually. And it's epic, so let's give it a go.
Thunderous power.
Okay, so face out, you'll see location 22. So it's usually 22, 23, or 24 that you then get to the shop. Now I've got a bit of cash, but at the same time, it'd be useful to get more life. Save that cash for a rainy day. Yeah, tough. I've never been good at saving anyway. Okay, I probably should have saved it. But what we can do is we can run that and get some additional mana / magic.
In the name of Hades.
Yeah, no chance of tall order. This is quite nice, but I like this. Everything just travels at me a little bit slower. And bang, we've fixed our mana situation. Oh, sorry.
Moonlight guides you.
Right, now if you haven't played Hades 2 or watched any of my streams, why haven't you? But we're now going to face off against the person who's singing.
Don't look down.
Really cool boss, I think.
Don't you have any new material yet, Skiller? You'd likely garner a much bigger audience if you had a few more songs.
Shut up! We have more songs than you can count. You're just not ready for them yet. Nobody is. Perfection takes time, lady.
But perfection is always out of reach. If you keep pursuing it, you'll never get there. You must have a work in progress you could play instead of the same old stuff.
The same old stuff? Did you just hear that, Gams? I think she meant to say your greatest hits or your all-time classics, didn't she? You just don't get it, lady. We're here to please.
All right. Very useful that. Check the amount of damage I did there. Pretty good. Ow. Okay, and activate. I guess I made that look easy.
By will of night.
There you go. So if you remember when we started this run, we basically activated a little thing at the bottom left. Basically now it gives me the ability to get one of these. And those nightmares are very useful in upgrading your character. Now, again, if I made that look easy, it is because as you play the game over and over and over, you really understand each boss's mechanics. And so you know where you should and shouldn't be at which times. Trust me, when I started playing this, if you watch my very first stream on this, I got murdered by her quite a few times. It actually made me worried. I was like, oh, am I not good at this game? But that's on purpose. The game is basically consistently trying to push up the difficulty level ahead of you so that you're not just flying through it. But if you then dial things back, like for me now, I'm running 32 pain, and that's sort of the level I'm at. If you then go back to a level 16 like this, but more importantly, a Guardian just level 1, it's quite easy, but you can push up the Guardian levels. So we'll cover that in a different stream. Boom, let's keep swimming. And remember, we've got Hades 1 coming soon. Okay, so this is where I'm going to change my keepsake. So as you may recall, this is the keepsake I'm currently running, Moonbeam, and that really helped me upgrade my hex very rapidly. And so now we'll try something else. Yeah, okay, that's been upgraded. That's very nice. So we're not going to explore anything new. I will tell you that this one is really useful, I found, especially if you take a lot of damage, because once you reach 250 total damage that you've taken over the entire course of playing, all your Omega moves suddenly do 40% damage. That's a chunky monkey right there. So, yeah, would love to run that, but obviously I haven't taken enough damage to even warrant using that. So we'll see if I need it maybe later. So in that case, maybe let's run something fun for now. So we'll run this. So basically it just means for 15 encounters, I'm going to get an additional hammer perk, which is Looming Ignition. Now, I just want to double check, but I don't think it actually shows you what Looming Ignition is. Let's see. See, it doesn't really... Oh, hang on, there we go, it does. Your attacks gain 50% damage and blast. That's a very useful one. This build is going to rip. Cool. Well, we're on our way down. Oh, what? Oh, long way down. Close. The Fields of Morning. Yeah, it's not the happiest place, is it? Ooh. All right. Cool. Now, if you haven't watched any of my previous streams, how this works is basically to unlock that, you have to fight some baddies. But what I first do is I just have a run through and I try and find a particular tree. It kind of is like, it enables almost like a mini-map concept. And usually you find it quite easily, but of course, because we're streaming, there it is.
Illuminate my path.
As you see now, it will point out all of the things that I can get. Okay, let's start with this. And then do that.
cleared.
Corruption cleared. And see, now I only get 3 where I used to get 8. Okay. I think that's very useful. It's obviously useful, but I just... I don't see it being that valuable. Imagine if I took out 10 bad guys, right? In 1 hex. 10, that's a lot. And then I just have 10% damage buff. Yeah, I don't know. Here we go. Let's make it last as long as possible.
Here we go.
Oops.
They won't like this.
Quickly.
I should be able to get out, I think. Nice seeing you again.
Meow. This build also does very good area damage. Well, at least we get a lot of choice here.
I have to go now. Venomous fiends.
So a good little tip for that one. As she's surrounded by other baddies, don't worry about them. Just dodge everything they send. Just focus on her, because when you kill her, they all die.
In the name of Hades.
Super useful, this. See, so there you start with 100 armor, but it only lasts 7 seconds. Whereas this one, fantastic, because you automatically have that armor for the entire location. And I guess it stacks up maybe, so let's give it a go. It does mean that I prime 30,
As always.
which you'll see means bottom left, my magic is back to 65, which I think is just on the limit of what I should be running. Proceed, proceed, proceed.
Always pleased to see you. Pleased to see you. See you. See you.
Okay, so that means my Arctic ring will go up to +6. Basically, pom, pom, pom. Double the level of a random one of your boons whose level is higher than the rest. And so in this case, it won't be random. Oh, hang on a minute. Does it upgrade that? And that might be a good thing. Let's see. Nope,
Thank you, my friend.
I was right.
My friend.
Arctic ring.
Friend.
Oh, I can gift her. And so let's check. Yep, I've got lots to gift.
Thank you for reminding me just how much can be said using few words or even none at all. When you respond, the words may be mine, but I know what you mean. And I know you understand me too.
You understand me too. Understand me too. You understand.
Cool. And so you can see we're pushing to the point where we can unlock the next level of our friendship. You know?
Rest easy now.
Rest easy now.
All right. No brainer. We definitely want the hammer. So again, we're just going to see if we can find our little tree first.
Steady now.
There she is.
Flourish and reveal my path.
Let's go straight for that hammer, shall we? Thanks for nothing, Tula. Ooh. Yeah. So right now I'm up against it from a magic perspective, so I like this. I don't really do the Omega attack, so I think this is good because it basically does double damage. So you see now if I do this, boom, boom. Don't know if it's going to push them away and then back again, but we'll see. Let's find out. Yeah, double damage, that's lovely.
Shored up.
Okay.
Smackers. Silence.
Experimental hammer, rank up. Oh, cool. So now that increases us to 20 encounters, which means another 10 encounters that I can use this keepsake.
Olympus, I accept this message. Two down.
Damn. Let's give our special some love.
Tula, go for it.
Meow.
No escape. Come on, English.
Some of the names are hilarious. Now, I get into a habit where I try to kill everything on the stage, but when you reach a certain level, it does seem like they just respawn. I have no cash. And so, I don't think we'll go to the shop regardless. 105 is not that much. Mind the footprint. Cool. It's time for Guardian.
Well, boy, more playtime.
Always dodge at the start.
Just getting started. Tormenting him, are you?
Almost. Oh, gotta run. Now he's gonna start doing his flame breathing. Oh crap. Oh crap.
Spirits of despair.
Nice. Again, if that looks like madness,
Ensuring time flows freely forth apparently requires cleaning up the mired hound of hell.
once you've played him about 10 times, you start figuring out where you should and shouldn't be.
You're safe now. You're all right.
By the way, if you're going to be playing through this particular area, my biggest fan that I pointed out at the start, he, she, it, them, they stand here. And so it can be easy to just run past them, but you do want to talk to them, and that's how you get them to come back home with you. That's generally how it works.
Done.
Okay, now this is going to be significant. If you haven't seen my previous stream on Hades 1 versus Hades 2, well, it wasn't a versus, but I did jump into Hades 1. This particular area here is of significance. Because in essence what's happening is in Hades 1 you start playing through a particular area up to this point and you progress upwards. Whereas obviously as you saw we're in the crossroads, which is sort of in the middle of, you know, the heavens and the hells, and so as we play we actually head downwards, and so this is actually the one point where we really sort of cross paths. So I'll point that out as we play Hades 1. But alright, no points on that. Let's check out our keepsake. So I think I still haven't had enough damage for that, but we're almost... We've got 8 encounters. It might give up the ghost just before it's too late. Look, we're very powerful, but you should not be complacent. There's a very good chance that suddenly I just make a few mistakes and then it's a horrible feeling to lose. So, I might go for the engraved pin. Because again, by the time I get 60 damage... Oh. So what engraved pin is, if you basically get killed, it starts a counter of 10 seconds before you officially die. If you kill everything before that timer runs out, you lose the pin, but you don't actually lose the life. You get 60 life back. It's very useful, but what I use it for is for 10 seconds to just do a sweet amount of damage. All right. And the reason for that is you can see at the bottom, I've got quite a few lives. So you'll see the little cat and the number 3 with Melanoe's face. And so I'm not too fussed about dying once, but 10 seconds of unadulterated damage, that, my friends, is sweet. Don't need life. This is quite nice, but I don't have really the cash to use that. If you were running higher heat or higher pain, as I call them, level settings, like a 32, these things can be the difference between a win and a loss. But right now, I'm feeling pretty good, but at the same time, let's not be complacent. So let's spend the money. And so what did I buy? My Omega moves. So that's my, especially my special and my cast, do plus 50 damage. That's useful. Cool.
Here goes.
Down we go. Again, if you haven't played 80s 1, keep your eye out for this. You'll see the architecture looks vaguely familiar. Not this, of course.
Such an infernal racket around here.
Delicious. I don't know why, but I like destroying anything that is destroyable in this game. And I have this imagination or this dream that eventually I'm going to unlock some trophy. By the way, I should definitely go and check out what all the trophies are. But in my head, I'm like, if you destroy 1,000,000 flasks, maybe you'll get some hidden trophy, which I know is never going to happen. Anyway, this is going to be hectic. Let's have fun.
Hardly the first time violence broke out in Tartarus.
Okay. I'm not gonna lie, even for me that's a bit nuts. I want to see that in a replay myself, because that was madness. And you sort of just, this is one of the beauties. You know what, let's zoom out for a second. This is one of the beauties of Hades, and many games have it too, where you play it enough that things become subconsciously run. You know, you're not thinking about what should I do next. You just let your subconscious brain do what it does best. And so in this case, I just click, switched off. I just went, okay, let my brain and my hands free flow, you know, flow state, some people call it. And there wasn't a great example of that. That was, I'm not going to swear, that was freaking nuts. And I don't think I took any damage. If I did, it's probably maybe one hit. But did you see that? It was madness. Like, where do you go? When do you activate stuff? Your brain reaches this level. That's one of the great things. You start playing this game and you're like, how did I do that? And it's just doing it over and over, and eventually you get to that flow state. It is so rewarding. Okay, cool. Let's head back in. Meow. By the way, that statue, keep an eye out for that. I might show it to you later. In a different time. Alright, we keep swimming. Come on, cat. compared to the previous one, that was easy. Yo, Vitas! Welcome to the stream. If any of you watching this after the fact, go and check out Vitas' channel. He does the most sick content on Doom and Quake stuff, and some creative shit too, with like really cool music and stuff. So yeah, go and check it out. How's things in Denmark, mate? I guess there's no more sun. It's just darkness and good beer.
Mother, father.
All right.
It's her.
Good boy.
There's a good boy.
I don't know about you guys, but there are some things in certain games that you wish you could have in real life, and having a cool three-headed dog, hell yeah.
The brutal hound of hell by now permits the princess of the dead to approach.
Good boy. Alright, we definitely want to gift them.
Thank you, daughter. We could certainly make use of this. Hades had a particular idea for it, in fact.
If you would permit it, daughter, I would offer up such nectar to the shades assisting in the underworld renovations underway, as an added token of appreciation for their toil. Is that acceptable to you?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead, Dad.
It's yours to do with as you please, and I can think of no finer purpose for it than to reward those shades who have remained loyal to us through all this.
Very nice. Vita says, nah, it's cold, it's dark, and it's sad, lol. By the way, if you've never been to Denmark, it's probably one of the best places to go. It is amazing. But yes, for 8 months of the year, it is a bit cold and dark. But trust me, there's many things to do to keep you entertained. But I guess it's the price you pay for living in the most, like, country with the most beautiful people. Like, damn. I know some people say it's Sweden, but yeah, we don't like those dirty Swedes anyway. Yeah, man. Hey, just hide. No, don't say that on stream. Find a free ticket and come to New Zealand. We're heading into fantastic weather now. Actually, I've got a few people from Denmark visiting this weekend, so we will be hitting Hobbiton and maybe going for a lovely hike at a waterfall. So quickly, mate, come on down. I think we say this in every stream. But seriously, if you're watching this, go check out his channel, support him. We're together, we're trying to grow our channels to make something where we can maybe do this permanently. Anyway.
Be well, Mother.
You too, my baby girl.
How fare the renovations to the house thus far? It was looking rather far along even before I departed.
Appearances can be deceiving, as you must already know, daughter. The initial work is rather quick. Addressing the details takes much, much longer.
Especially if all the details must be exactly as before.
Yeah, fine.
Why should we settle for less? Anything that we did not want changed ought to remain as we desired it.
Sounds like a big undertaking. Can I do something to assist?
Best leave this one to us, Malinui. We're pleased to see you here. Your father can administer his blessings and take his mind off of everything. Isn't that right, Hades?
Happy wife, happy life. Alright, so let's see. In your confrontation with Kronos, he summons Fury's reinforcements. That's not a problem for us. Restore health as we go. This one I tend to lean on. Basically, I spend a lot of magic mana. And so summoning 3 soul urns is useful because as they run into it, they get a lot of damage. Vidas asks, who's coming? It's not something I'd say publicly on a stream, but somebody I used to work with, and then somebody who I met through somebody I used to work with, and both of those people you know. Not the people who are coming. Oh, actually, one person. I'll send you a private message and tell you. Maybe ask them if you can climb in the baggage and come on down. Anyway, onwards and upwards, or technically in this case, downwards. Ooh, that was close. That was a waste. Take this, honey. See, I was talking a few seconds ago about that flow state. It's a lot of fun when you get to that. Okay, here we go. We really need flow state stuff happening here. Oh no, I've been frozen! Quickly pick them up. Ow, ow, ow. And Tula's just sitting there getting a little cat nap. By the way, we talk about flow state. If you go and watch some of the stuff that Vidas does, it's insane. Like, he must be going to some sort of a Jedi straightforward level to do the stuff he does.
Come on.
Whoa, whoa. At least the cat's doing something. Cool. Yeah, Vidas, if you're still there, anything interesting that you're going to be streaming soon?
Tula, be my guest. Caught out.
Ooh, a Styxian.
Styxian?
Cool. So, interesting. Hot take, but I kind of wish we played as Zagreus again. Well, good news, Vidas. We are going to be playing Zagreus in probably about 10 to 15 minutes from now, as I'm going to go back to Hades 1. But also, yeah, dude, as you heard me maybe at the top of the stream say, I really hope maybe they bring out a DLC where you can play Hades 2, but go back in time and play with Zagreus or as Zagreus and have it a multiplayer co-op. Can you imagine that? That would be sick. So we're on the same page. I find Melanomi a bit boring as a character. I agree to an extent. I kind of like the fact that she is how she is, but that was one of the beauties of Hades 1. Hades 1, Zagreus was witty, he was funny, a little bit stupid sometimes, and I think that was quite the fun bit. Also, the bad guys, I agree, but unfortunately they couldn't have the same type of character because then it would just be, you know, a copycat. And that's the thing I found, especially Hades 1 versus Hades 2. A lot of the stuff I really wanted in Hades 1 isn't in Hades 2, and at the beginning I didn't like that, but if you play it a lot you get to the point where you go, actually it's its own game. It's still a lot of the stuff that I love, you know, this flow state that I yabber on about, but at the same time, yes, there are things from Hades 1 that I really miss, and that's why I asked myself the question, why am I not still playing Hades 1? That's why we're playing Hades 1 now. Yeah, no streaming plans for now, working hard, making good videos. Yeah man, that's true, your cadence of videos is fantastic, so you know, I've got to learn from you in that regard. Alright, so question here, why don't I go for Demeter? Why do I go for this Outlast? Well, it generally signals the end of the normal stages before we face off with Kronos, and I've got 491, so I can probably spend a bit of money, so we'll go this way.
It's changed so much.
Oof. Or just buy one thing. Yes. Shocking, I know.
How many more such blasted Kronos coins are there, my niece? According to your grandfather, none shall be made henceforth, yet they are in abundance even still.
This is good. This is good. So, your cast is where you drop like a big circle around you, and as you know, my cast freezes people. But what is annoying is you have to get to the bad guy to drop it. And sometimes, especially with this build, it means I have to move into the battle, which I don't really want to. In this case, if I hold the cast, I aim and I fire it. All right? And basically, when it hits, it then turns that into the binding circle. So hold cast to aim where the binding circle appears. Plus, it adds additional damage. And as we know, it's quite powerful. Look, see? I can now control where it goes. And then, bang. Plus, it does 90 bolt damage. Excellent. Now, again, we're about to jump into Hades 1, so if we can beat Kronos. But have a look at this area. Very important to memorize this, especially where we're standing right now. I'll try and do the exact same thing there. But yeah. Also, if you haven't finished Hades 2, I'm about to do a dive, but something might happen. So maybe skip forward just 10 seconds from now. And I guess they've skipped, so here we go.
Time to go.
Cool. Hopefully they're back.
Wow.
You yet persist.
You know, I'm almost impressed. Not only have you ransacked my father's domain and made war on Olympus, you had the audacity to deceive primordial chaos. That takes a spine.
Why, thank you, my girl. I must admit, I thought that chaos would be something of a bargainer, for I was willing to exchange their daughter Nyx for the 3 fates. But now I have them all.
You played the chthonic gods for a pack of fools. These eldest, most powerful forces in existence. Such choices may come back to haunt you.
Yes, you have come back to haunt me here repeatedly. You, the best that the gods of the underworld and Olympus have to offer.
Okay, let's try it out. Woo-wee! See how good that cast is now that I don't have to stand and deliver it? See? Watch, bang. Ooh! Run. And again. Resisted the first one. Come on, cat. Damn. Okay. I took a bit of a beating there. Cool. No, what are you doing? Ah, you idiot. Sorry, that was stupid on my part. You gotta wait for the explosion to happen. You see how useful that keepsake is? See, wait. Boom, explosion happens, then move. That was very stupid of me. It can be a bit confusing. Yeah. Oh. Quickly. Ooh, not many lives left. And we're getting complacent. And boom. And boom. You see he does that 3 times. Okay. Quickly. Cool.
You have been brought this low once more. I am near God. May time flow freely forth. A sting of my own scythe.
And there we go. Successful run at pain level 16.
In the name of Hades.
Cool. Vidas, if you're still there, so obviously you've played Hades. Tell me, what do you think of, reaching level 32, and what is your favorite weapon? All right.
What does the future hold? Only the fates themselves and perhaps Prometheus, the Titan of foresight, know full well. Unfortunately, all of them are rather indisposed right now.
Return to Shadow now.
Ooh, exciting times.
Is that singing?
Okay, team. Now, this is where I spend a bunch of time just walking around and sort of debriefing on everything I've done. But of course, one of the key things we want to do is play Hades 1. So, I'm going to quit. And then we're going to seamlessly, yeah, right, try make this work. That's right. We have a split screen setup, which looks pretty stupid right now, considering I'm not in the game. I should have stayed in the game, actually. That would have looked way cooler. You know what? Ask and you shall receive. Here we go.
Is that singing?
And then I'm going to activate PlayStation mode. And yes, 577 escapes. And see. This is running on a PlayStation 4 Pro, by the way, so loading times are a thing. In my head, I thought a split screen is a great idea. And there we go. And so now I reconnect the controller. Ah, damn. Okay. See what happens when you try to test things on air? It doesn't work. Anyways, let's get out of this. Rotate into that. And then bang, we're in. Okay. Cool. Okay, so PlayStation audio, we just need to quickly sort that out. Because I can see here it's not currently playing for you guys, and we definitely want that to work. So I guess when you switch around things, they sometimes disappear a little bit. But PlayStation audio. Oh, there we go. There we go. Excellent. It's there. Oh, and Vida says, in Hades 1, I rocked a Gilgamesh quite a bit. Well, hey, that's not a bad idea. Let's run that then. Cool. Now, you're going to notice that the graphics look a bit fuzzy. I'm going to shoot straight with you. I've got like a $10 HDMI capture to USB. It's not very good quality, but also we are running a PlayStation 4 Pro. And so I've never played Hades 1 on a PC. I can imagine you can crank up the graphics a little bit more. So also you'll notice it's not running very smoothly. Again, this is PlayStation 4 running through a really cheap card. Anyways, welcome to Hades 1. Let's take a walk back before we pick our weapons. So here's my bedroom. Bed's made. Very impressive. There we go. So if you've now played Hades 2 or you've watched my stream, you would have seen some things that look familiar, especially when you finish the boss. So, for instance, where we beat Kronos a few seconds ago, before we went to that sort of place where you've got the clock and stuff, this is it. This is exactly where we killed him. So you can see it looks a little bit different. The House of Hades to where it is. Of course, we still got our doggy.
You like it when you get pets like this, don't you, boy?
Here, I'll turn up the volume a little bit. Cool. And here's Mama.
Oh, hi.
That's something that unfortunately they didn't bring back in Hades 1 yet. Hades 2 is Dusa. I really enjoyed Dusa. She was cool. Anyways, I can spend hours just going through here. Do we have any fish? No, no fish. Bucket.
Go, bats, enjoy yourselves.
There we go. So you'll see that this house is decorated up to the wazoo. But actually, when you start Hades 1, it does not look like this. But eventually similar I guess to what you have now in Hades 2, you can change a lot about the way that your house and bedroom and stuff looks. It's trivial, but you kind of enjoy it a little bit. Do you remember that statue I was talking about earlier?
Greetings, costly artwork.
There we go. And this is where I think Hades 2 did a really good job. When I started playing it, I was kind of disappointed immediately because there was a lot of stuff I was so used to in Hades 1. And then you play Hades 2 and you're like, why don't I have this? Why don't I have this? Why don't I have this? But again, it has to be its own game. Otherwise, it's just Hades 1.5. And so they've done a really good job of putting in some nostalgia, but at the same time creating its own thing. And again, I'm going to get Hades 1 on PC, push it up to high resolution, and then I don't think there's a big difference between the graphics, really. And so it in essence means that if you want to play Hades 1, you can play Hades 1. If you want to play Hades 2, play Hades 2. But I agree with Vidas, it'd be cool if you could, in Hades 2, play Hades 1 in some way. I mean, the game's there, guys. Come on. Come on, Supergiant. Do it. Do it. All right. Cool. Let's go check out the Gilgamesh. Oh, by the way, if you play Hades 2, you'll notice this mirror looks familiar, but this is how we were able to change some of the aspects of how we play. It's called Mirror of the Night. And so you can see here, basically, if I go here, let me take my face out for a second. Bang. That works. Audio's there. Lovely. So as you can see here, deal attack and special damage when striking undamaged foes. So you can basically modify this. You'll see if I switch it around, it now will restore some of my health when I collect the dark crystal-y thingamabobbles.
This one then.
But each of them you can customize, and sometimes they can actually help a specific build. I'm not going to go into too much detail here. I don't even remember if this was the best one that I ran last time, but let's just have a quick look. Yep, that looks good. Yes. Some of them are just a no-brainer. Like, of course, you want to have 3 death defiances. 3 lives, basically. All right. So if you remember keepsakes,
Let's see here.
bang, a lot of different styles here. Now it really depends on what sort of build you want to run. Like for instance, if you want to start with a Zeus build, then you could basically select this, and it would just mean usually the first boon you get would be Zeus, and then your chance of getting Zeus is higher, but also the Zeus boons would be of a higher quality. And so a lot of these are just really, define how you play through the stage. Right now, I'm just going to rock this because it basically means every 4 encounters, 1 random boon just goes up a level. And then from a companion, I run the Shady. And basically what it happens is it does 1,000 damage, but more importantly, it gives me health and also some other items. Cool. So very different weapons. Like if you've watched Hades 2 or played it, you'll obviously understand that there's a particular character and she runs Exagriff, and she runs the aspect of Eris. And guess who is the character carrying the gun? It's Eris. Interesting enough, if you bump up her ranking when you play against her, the pain as I refer to her, she starts to run aspect of Lucifer, which is one of my favorite just call out, because you get a particular hammer which allows you to drop these particular items all at the same time, and then if you upgrade them, that's a ton of damage right there. And also this rail just slaps. Another cool build I think I showed in my last stream is this one, the aspect of Hestia. And so you see a normal shot, 17, watch this, 150. So it just means that you're literally running around going bang, reload, bang, reload. So yeah, you get a thumb workout for that.
My blade.
Cool. You'll see load times take a while. So here we got this Stygius, so aspect of Zagreus. So if you know the logo of the game, this is obviously his sword. And pretty cool.
Stygius.
Aspect of Nemesis, Poseidon. This is also one that I've run quite a few times. So basically, again, Hades 2, your cast is like the circular defensive zone that you drop. Whereas in Hades 1, your cast is these crystals. And they're quite powerful. I do actually miss that. That was quite a cool function. Okay. Okay, and so we've got aspect of Zagreus again, Achilles, Hades, and Guan Yu, which is quite powerful.
I think I'll try this one.
And so we have aspect of Zagreus again, aspect of Chaos, but these two, the aspect of Zeus and aspect of Beowulf, these are the OP ones. This, for instance, with a Zeus boon on the special is devastating because it'll just shock the out of people. And basically the whole strat is you just run around and have it follow you like a devastating dog. But then Beowulf is epic. Have a look at this. So you take your cast and you stick it in to your shield. Then you hold this and then you drop your cast where you stop. Super powerful. Cool. Then we're into the Coronaut, and you have the aspect of Chiron, Hera, and Rama. In general, the aspect of Chiron is the one. Check this. So basically what happens is wait for Skelly to come back. You shoot one and then you see he's targeted, and then no matter what you do, your arrows go back to him. Super powerful. Alright. The other ones are quite powerful as well, but that's the one I generally go for. And then this is the one that Vidas was talking about. So I have run this quite a few times. It keeps your thumb really busy. But basically, when you give a dash upper, you maim your foes. Alright? Watch this. So, also it just looks good. So basically, if I punch, 60. If I dash strike, not that big a deal. But if I do that, you see the 3 slashes, like claw marks? Bang. So let's just go through that again. So, face, bang. So heavy attack, 2 rapid dash charges, or a dash upper afflicts maim. And so foes take 25% more damage, but dangerously they also do more damage. So you've got to be careful about taking a hit. For 4 seconds and then boom. So firstly, this is useful. That wasn't actually the maim, that was just me doing that. You also have a rising cutter, which is just pure triangle. Very powerful, but the maim is bang. Now you see, now I will do a lot more damage. 75 versus 60. Alright, it was your call, Vidas. We will run the Gilgamesh.
All that damage? That was nothing, pal.
And so I referred to pain before. It's the pact of punishment. And so the whole idea here is you can ramp up certain things about the game to make it harder. So all foes do more damage. Any life that you get is worth less. Things cost more. And so you can basically configure the game the way you want to. I'm going to have a bit of fun here, and I'll leave extreme measures on 4. That means that the final boss, which is Hades, spoiler alert, the game's called Hades, it's going to be his hardest one. And especially running the Gilgamesh build, it's going to be a challenge for me. Also, playing Hades 2 maps your brain in a particular way. Then when you get to Hades 1, you have to remap your brain, basically. So, cool. We'll give that a go. It's just exciting. Hades 1, man.
The mortals have on us is that they quickly become men. This is the Fury Megara. She shall accelerate the process in your case.
Okay.
See you again soon, Meg.
Cool. So we have a hammer. So just a reminder, we've got maim.
Go sulk someplace else.
So this is very much a melee build. Melee. I think this is good because life is going to be a problem for me later, but if you're running the ultimate Hades setup, aka the final boss is a level 4 boss, this is not going to help me. I need to be more powerful at a longer distance, and that's one of the problems with this particular build is you're going to have to be in Hades' face to beat him. Vidas has definitely not made it easy. But holding the special for longer range and up to 100% base damage, I think I'm going to go for that. That just means that I can stand back, hold special, very similar to an Omega attack, and yeah, we'll do that. So let's give it a go. See how much damage that did?
More.
Cool. And if you remember from a few minutes ago, I said I'll try and do something. Does this look familiar? Yes, it does.
Fishing time then. That's a bite. That's one more fish for me.
And a hellfish. Cool. This is, of course, where we dive to go face off these cards. By the way, you'll notice that I have a lot of dashes. And I think that I get additional dashes. Let me just double check that. Yeah, so you get 2 rapid dash charges. That's right. So, she goes very fast.
How'd that happen?
Alright. You have the key. Which is pretty useless. Cool, he's maimed, so I don't have to care about him. He's maimed, so I don't have to care about him. You see, they'll just die.
Just in time.
Easy money so far. Interesting. So... I can run Demeter. Demeter has one particular thing that I really would like to have. And so, even though it'd be good to get Artemis, I do want a particular thing that comes from Demeter. So, we'll run Demeter. By the way, have a look at the bottom left of my health bar. You'll see there's this sort of golden amulet surrounded by that. Go and Google what that is. And then Google how much work is required to get that. It's one of the things that I'll take to my grave as an accomplishment in gaming. Anyways, okay. Let's go with Demeter.
Time to fight.
We'll leave him to die.
I've known your father and his brothers here for many seasons now. They bicker endlessly with me and one another.
Interesting. So we did not get what we were looking
Any other
for.
blessings, maybe?
Still didn't get what we were looking for. Ooh. Okay, then we'll go for Demeter's aid for now. Hopefully she comes back later. Cool. Health is going to be important as this is a melee build. One could say this build slaps.
Good for the health.
Cool, so you would have seen that this just upgraded to level 2, and that's because of my keepsake. Every 4 encounters, one of my boons will just level up, which is good. I forget about these things. We have to remember. Right.
Stay dead next time.
Very powerful.
There is no problem war cannot sort out.
None of them are really good. You know, I want my special to do immediate damage. Even though this can be, you know, Curse of Pain can become quite powerful later. I'm just thinking. It is kind of similar to the maim, because I'm going to be maiming them and running away. And so it's sort of a delayed damage. You know what? Let's run it, just for fun. And so basically what this is, if you don't know what doom damage does, is so you'll see here that it takes a brief moment, and you'll see there's a sword above their head, and then it comes down and it does a considerable amount of damage. And so there is a delay. So watch this. So you see that little delay? In the beginning it's not that big a deal, but trust me, eventually you can unlock certain things that can really make it quite powerful. Like that. we haven't even used Demeter yet. Cool. Very
Enough to eat.
That's a chunky monkey increase in health damage, sorry. Ooh, oh, this is so damn, that's tricky. I tell you why, I would like to go down to Chaos. I definitely would. You can unlock some seriously powerful stuff with Chaos. But Aphrodite is a near damage specialist. And it is a boss fight, which does mean that it could be a higher level boon as well. Ooh, oh, this is so tricky. Fine. Let's go see. And then we watch out. Wait for the lasers to finish. Thanks for coming.
The Aphrodite.
Was it worth it?
Let's see what mischief we can make between the two of us.
Album art question. Which of the Aphrodites is better looking? Hades 1 or Hades 2? I think she looks pretty similar, actually, now that I think about it. So I did want the attack. But the interesting thing is the nature of my fighting style is going to be, I'm going to dash in and then uppercut. And in this case, your dash deals damage where you end up. So I do additional, but then I inflict weak. What is weak? For 4 seconds, they do less damage to me. That's very useful considering it's a melee build. So I think we're going to go for Passion Dash, not just because it's... So see, bang. You see that? Basically, as I get to them, they get damaged by my dash, but they also get slapped in the face. And if they hit me because they're weak, I take less damage. Oh, we got a new joiner here. Yellow Ing Harpoon Airpoo. Wow, how's that for a name? Best viewers. So this is something I've noticed. In certain streaming systems, you get people that jump on that I don't think are real. So hey, if you're real Yellow Wing Harpoon Airpoo, say what you think about Hades. If not, please ignore that message. Alright, cool. Oh dear. Hello, Daddy.
Do not let him escape my notice, boy.
Copy.
Bang, look how much damage that did. Insta-kill.
Lights out.
So far, a good combination, actually. Ooh, and we can activate Demeter. See, she basically just does a little unhappy tornado. But to be fair, that's probably more like a hurricane, but anyway. I don't even know why I'm attacking them as much. I just gotta survive.
Time's up.
Yes, it is. Alright.
Gods grant me strength.
I think we'll continue with the Doom, because there is a point where I can, if I'm lucky, get a particular boon that will allow me to doom a lot of Doom. That's a technical term. Doom a lot of Doom. Alright, more health. Can't say no. Now, there are particular gods that are really good for particular builds, obviously. And that's something, as I get more comfortable streaming, releasing, various, types of streams, I definitely want to work on, some of the Hades 2, particular builds that are OP. So I watch out for that. But in Hades 1, similar thing. What I was thinking while I was playing is as you see, I dash in and I do a maim, and then I want to follow it up with a couple of attacks. So the question is, what is a very good attack to be able to follow up with? And I was actually thinking that Athena would be good, because what happens with Athena is when you attack, you also push out a shield, which means any attacks that are coming at you get actually sent back to the attacker. And so in this case, it would be excellent, because basically I could fly in, do my maim, and then just attack, and if they attack me at the same time, they actually attack themselves. So unfortunately, you can't pick these things. You have to sort of follow the game's randomness. But yeah, I'd love to get Athena if I could. Okay, and so very similar to Hades 2, or actually I guess it started it. We're in chamber 10, top right. And so it means that if I go to the shop, there's another shop coming later, and so anyways. And so we'll rather go this way and get more money. More money, more problems.
Caught me on a break again.
Hello.
Sir.
By the way, Vitas, if you're still there, I don't know if you noticed this, anybody else watching this, it is really such a cool little detail. When you're in Hades 2, get to the place where you meet your dad and now your mom as well. Have a look behind them. Alright? I actually saved an image of it earlier. I don't know if... Actually, you know what? I want to do this. Guys, hold tight. I'm going to try and put in a random picture on stream here. Hang on. We're going to try and make this work. Image. And it's going to be... Oh!
You're always here for me, Baldy.
Oh.
Cheers.
Try and do this. So where did I put it? In Hades 2. Date. Baldy. Okay. Okay, let's see if I can achieve this. There we go. How cool is that for detail? So notice how Baldy has become moldy, and that then gives you an idea of where within the world you are. I thought that was such a cool detail. So we'll transition back, and then I need to just remember to remove Baldy. Yes. All right, cool. Cool for you to see. I thought that was quite a nice detail. But yeah, we're always here for you, Baldy. Cheers. And he just has such a way with words.
That's that.
That's one good rock, isn't he, Prince?
Yes, that is. And so when you give Baldy a little bit of love, he gives you something random. In this case, I'll just get 5% more gold. He said something very bad. That shade in the background freaked out.
Hello, Highness. You're looking well enough.
Interesting enough, Sisyphus has not made an appearance, as far as I recall, in Hades 2. So, again, maybe they're saving some of the gods for a DLC. And Supergiant Games, if you're watching this, yeah, like they'd be watching my stream. If you are, we want a DLC for Hades 2. I would pay good money to see some additional things like we spoke about earlier. Anyway, so here I can choose. I get a smattering of healing darkness, or in this case, I'll go for the money.
Sure thing.
Thank you.
Cheers, mate.
And then we get more money. More money, more problems. Sure. Really enjoying this build so far. Okay, gotta get out of the way here. Ow! Yep, Gilgamesh slapping.
What's in the pool this time?
Nothing about it at this point. Well, well, well. Maybe you get what you wish for. Cool. Now, normally I would have gone to the shop. At this point, I've got a lot of cash, and I know I'm facing off the first world boss now, but Guardian. But we wanted Athena, and so we got what we asked for. Please be high level one.
Your foes shall soon find it impossible to overcome your strength combined with mine.
Mm-hmm. Ah, yeah. Not only did we get what we want, but we got the epic of it. And so I will just read that. Use your main weapon, but you get deflect. So turn foes' attacks back against them. An absolute win.
Athena's power.
So, doesn't look like much, but being able to deflect, considering I'm going to be coming into an attack and then doing this, is wonderful. Sorry, Shades.
Got a bite. It's a skiller scion.
By the way, there are so many different techniques to fishing in Hades 1. I'd like to figure it out in Hades 2, but because I'm running Tula the whole time, I don't actually need to do fishing. But one of them is actually closing your eyes and purely going on sound. I've always tried to figure out what is the fastest way. There's also, if you look maybe in the game concept, maybe 2 meters above where the actual fish is bobbing, or the float is bobbing, is as the fish strikes, there's a white line that appears, and that white line travels top down, and so it kind of gives you a peek before where you're focusing on. So there's 2 ways that I've found to do it quickly and accurately. Again, I'm sure there's a faster way. All right, so we're facing off against potentially our girlfriend.
Lovely.
Ready, sisters. Heard you were in the area and thought I'd take another stab at killing you.
Yeah, sure. So Electra's not my girlfriend, but the one in blue is. Alright. Here we go. So I'm just trying to get mentally in the right position, and yeah, but see, then she does more damage to me, so I need to be careful.
She's psyching up.
Ooh, that was so close. Holy crap.
I'm empty.
Ooh, that was ballsy! Play on purpose.
I can't.
Uh-oh. Is it something I said? Ow. Fine, we can go for brunch. Oof, shish. Let's just run. These pants don't make you look fat. Whew.
Got her.
Definitely wasn't easy. And that's the problem with these melee builds, but especially her, because she's quite potent at close range.
Electro failed.
Yes, she did. So another reference to Hades 2, which is obviously a reference to Hades 1. You'll notice that when we got to the final stage area, this was where we opened up and then fell down into it. And to Tartarus, I think is the term. And so, yeah, again, a cool little nod to it. Keepsakes. I'm going to keep running the same keepsakes. I'm not going to sell anything. See if there's nothing good in the shop. Nothing that I need at this point. So we move on. Move up.
Made it to Asphodel.
Yeah. Hello, Asphodel.
Through all that, the way to the surface.
Apparently the summers here are quite hot. Getting a lot of life. This is good. Melee build, we're going to need it. Now watch here. I can punch it back. See? I must admit, there's definitely an input lag. And I think that's because it's not just running through a wireless controller, which is something I noticed through playing through Steam. I feel because it's wired, there's just a little bit faster connection, maybe. The second thing is of course, it's not running straight into the monitor. It's running into a capture card, which is running into OBS, and then from OBS it's presenting onto the screen that I can see. So there's definitely a little bit of latency, which is not ideal when you're running a melee build, but yeah. We will keep some. Ooh, more Athena! Take it. Oh dear. Thanatos.
Looks like I got here just in time. Let's get this done.
Thanatos is annoying. There's no way to say it. Especially when you get into deeper hardcore levels, all it means is you just lose a lot of life for not much gain. But anyway, let's do it.
I think you can beat me.
Yes, I do.
Occasionally, yes.
Luckily, I just have to slap these guys once to rack up their kills. Excellent. See, you lose a lot of life trying to beat him. Basically, all I'm trying to do here is outscore him in the kill area. Which we did convincingly.
In the name of Hades.
Tricky one.
Hang on to this for me.
Yeah, whatever. This is a tough one because the Doom is delayed, but I know that I can get quite a powerful Doom out of it. I just want to have a look here. So basically what you can do is you can go to Ares and then you can check out your boon list. And what I'm looking for here is a dual boon setup. And so basically if I have a dual boon, which in this case I could, Doom effects continuously strike weak foes. So this is what I'm after. Because basically as I come in and I strike them with my special, I inflict Doom, but at the same time weak. And basically it means that my Doom effects will continuously strike them. Bang, 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 bang. And so I don't think I want to give up that function. We might as well go for that. It just means if I do deflect, it does a lot more damage. Bye, Thanatos. Alright. I guess Hermes will be useful. Go Hermes. See? Wait for them to jump over. See how I'm deflecting their attacks? Which does a lot more damage. See how I did that in the wrong order. Freeze!
There's something.
Hey, what's it gonna be this time, boss?
I haven't even used my cast yet. Whenever you're hit, you have a chance to dodge. That's quite a powerful boon in a melee case. So we're gonna go for dodge.
What's for sale? Should be useful.
Do you hear that noise? So that was a key thing in the Hades 1. They've made it a bit easier in Hades 2. But in Hades 1, each level might have a random task for you to do, and it won't point it out to you like it does in Hades 2. In Hades 1, you'd have to listen out to it, and there we go. If I had seen this, I wouldn't have spent that money on upgrading my health. But anyway, let's just have a bit of fun.
I'll take what's mine.
Do not so much as think about it.
And now I can be reckless, because I'm going to get life. Not too reckless, of course. Whew.
Blood and darkness.
Excellent.
There we go. I always have a bit of a run around in 80s one because you can find gold and other stuff, so always useful. Okay, so question. Should we go to the shop? Can we have a look? Chamber 19, so I don't think it's usually a 22. We need to do that, and so we'll face off against the mini-bots and get more Aphrodite. Okay, there's our dodge, bang, maim, and then counter. Powerful. And Curse of Pain goes up, doing a little bit more damage.
In the name of Hades.
Dual boon, dual boon. Cost, not useful. Resist some damage from nearby foes' attacks. That's going to be pretty useful to us. Again, this build is evolving in the right direction. We're getting the right stuff for our melee build. Ooh. Oh, hello. Underestimated that. Shoot.
It's Hermes.
What you got, buddy? Ooh, this is useful. Even though we're not using a cast yet, it does mean that when you do get a cast, you can do this.
Time to pick up the pace.
Oh. Wah, wah. I don't have any of my crystals. Here we go, but you can do this. Very fast. None of those are useful. Let's have a quick walk around, see if there's any gold. Nope, none of it. Interesting though. Observation. I have not had the sensation that I'm feeling that I'm playing an older game. Again, Hades 2's graphics are intentionally in this particular style. And I mentioned that in another stream as well as my Is Hades 2 Perfect, which again I'm working on the final video. But because of the graphics, it doesn't feel like I'm playing an older game. I haven't missed Hades 2 since starting to play Hades 1. It's just the same game, just with a different character. And so, yeah, very interesting. Hades 1 might last forever. Cool. Of course, it'd be better on a PC running at a high frame rate. Still not bad. Oh, yo, what's happening, Charon? What's cooking? Good looking? Oh, I could get a dual boon here.
Thank you, mate.
Ooh. Yo, they're all so good. Oh my goodness. So let me talk you through the logic here. The cast is excellent because you basically chuck these blade rifts as spinning blades and they just do a decent amount of damage. Plus it's epic. The urge to kill, which, you know, it's very clear, it just makes everything do 13% more damage. Absolute win. Then of course duo boons are something you want to use. Your abilities that can deflect immediately activate doom effects. Okay, and so it adds a doom combo damage of 40. Really good. The thing is I am intending to come in, maim, and then do an attack or two. But when I think ahead towards getting at the end to Hades, Hades is so powerful and so fast. I'm going to get in and maim him and then basically try to get out, because if I mistime my attack, he will destroy me. And so even though I'm using the attack deflect, I don't think that I'm going to be using that. This can be useful.
This means
so basically I do that and then come in.
Just tidying up a bit.
Cool.
Got stronger there.
And slicing shot got an instant boost. Excellent. And so it doesn't look like it does a lot of damage, 28 per hit, but remember every time it's spinning it's going hit, 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 hit. And so it can actually increase damage quite a lot. I don't need health. And still a man of so many words. Alright, let's get going. Also, I'm going to start speeding things up. I'm talking about the game a lot. We should just play it a little bit, so let's do that. But something that I'd love to see in Hades 2.
I know you missed me, Lenny, and I missed you too.
That's immediately good damage. Ooh, slaps.
Who needs a neck anyway?
Impressive. Now I suspect, what time is it now? It's past 12 o'clock in Denmark, so our friend Vidas has probably moved on to other things, but he suggested this build, and the aspect of Gilgamesh is definitely slapping. As you can see there, I took care of learning really fast. Of course, it means you're in the thick of things, and that will come with a bit of play and a bit of skill, but yep, keeps you on your toes. We got the Pineapple Dealer. Watching gameplay of Hades 1 after 80 hours of Hades 2 makes the game seem so slow. Interesting point, that actually. I'd like to ask that question back, Pineapple Dealer. Are you saying that Hades 1 feels slower or Hades 2 feels slower? I suspect he or she is referring to Hades 2, because Hades 2, you don't have this ability to multi-dash, so the fighting is a lot more frantic. But I have found in Hades 2, when you run certain builds and you get certain boons, it can become quite fast. But good point, Pineapple. By the way, welcome for joining. Oh, thanks for joining and welcome, is what I should be saying. Really cool to have people watching my stream. You know, it's a big deal to me, so appreciate it. And hey, I want your feedback. You know, where are you in the world? You know, obviously you've played a lot of Hades. What did you find about Hades 2? Is it not as good as Hades 1 in your books? Love to hear. Cool. We'll keep running the same aspects, the same keepsake. And none of these are useful to me at the moment.
Closer. Much nicer climate.
Now there's a lot of discussions about which biome or which area within Hades 1 is the best and which ones are the worst. And I do find this area to be a bit annoying because of the type of monsters and bad guys you fight. Of course, the last area where you fight against rats, that's 100% the most annoying, but I find this, I don't know, there's something in me that never looks forward to this part. Anyways, let's get a hammer. Let's get a hammer.
You again.
Yeah, especially these guys, because you have to kill them before they respawn, and that could be very annoying. Jeez, old Gilgamesh. Nice. Dash upper deals 100% damage in an area. That is very powerful. Why? Because that's the main part of our build. We are maiming. This is an absolute win for us. Dash strike, not so important. After using your special, deal 90 damage in an area where you land. That's also quite useful because obviously I come falling down after I've done this. To be fair, it's a no-brainer. Explosive upper. I think we're so lucky in this run. We're just getting a lot of the things that clearly make Gilgamesh work well. So dash upper, that's what we need to do for maim. But I now do 100%. So basically double the damage in an area, which is even better.
Perfect.
Pineapple Dealer asks, how much Hades 1 have you played? I tell you what, if you look in the bottom left and you see my health bar, do you see that gold surround? If you know what that is, then you won't need to ask that question. You won't need an answer. Basically, I think I've had 577 runs, something like that, which successfully about 430 of them. I've played a decent amount of Hades 1, to the point where it's probably, if I invested that time in studying medicine, I could have been a doctor. How about yourself, Pineapple Dealer? You're an old Hades 1 stalwart veteran. Alright. Health or more boons. You see, again, because we're running this keepsake, all my boons are randomly just going up in level, and that's powerful enough. And because of that, I'm not too fussed. I'll go for health. %100% more damage apparently. Something I was thinking about while I was letting my subconscious do all the work was actually I would like to enable a item on my stream that will show you what buttons I'm pushing, because especially in this build there's an awful lot of button pushing happening.
That's a relief.
Interesting to see. No, not of use. Here we need...
well.
Not that important. Okay, and so again, we just have a quick look. We're chamber 28, so it's... Ooh, I have about 200 hours on Hades 1, Pineapple Dealer says. So yep, definitely a veteran of the game. I was asking Vidas earlier, Pineapple Dealer, what is your favorite weapon combination? Aspect of Gilgamesh is what Vidas recommended, and we're having fun with it. I love both games, yes. I love that. There's some people that have said one is better than the other. As I've said multiple times to the point where it might be annoying, I think each of them are their own individual games, and that's such a good job by Supergiant Games. You know, if you like Hades 1, great. If you like Hades 2, great. But if you like both of them, you're just winning because they're awesome in their own right. Awesome. So, Pineapple Dealer, you clearly know what you're talking about. What do you say about Hades 2 being a perfect game? Because in my stream where I said, is Hades 2 perfect? Spoiler alert, I got to the point where I said, for its individual game, as a sequel, I thought it was perfect. What are your thoughts? Anyway, let's get on. Woo! Yeah, right. Ow. Definitely taking some damage.
Feeling good.
All right. So, something on my mind. Let me open up something after I've Googled it. Just hold tight for a second. Geez, I hit that enter button really hard. Okay, I didn't get it via Google search, so let me try the old AI. Can you listen to some good bass, damn it? see if I get that from AI. Pineapple says, I would say it is as perfect a game as it can be. Supergiant really outdid themselves 100%. Fully agree. Pineapple Dealer, you, my friend, are a Hades 1 wizard. It is just more of the same good thing, but again in a different way, so completely agree. Alright, so we're letting old ChatGPT do its thing. And while we wait for that to happen, shall we continue? Okay.
Soul-sucking butterflies. Not yet.
I must admit, as a gamer, I feel pain, and that's one thing that happens in Hades 1 is you tend to get hurt a lot. So let's see. Okay, so I've got a response, and so it's called the health badge. Still, I don't find it. That's annoying. That's what I was looking for. Okay. You'll see what I show you in a second. Actually, let's see. Because I keep asking this particular question on my stream when it comes to it, so. Let's see if ChatGPT can nail this. If so, I'll quickly put it on screen. Okay, so we've got a answer. Cool. So, basically, the golden badge that I have around my health bar is referred to as the unseen one. Okay. And so, the unlock the unseen one badge in Hades, the first game, you must reach the final badge rank by spending a total of those purple gems called darkness. So you have to get 325,000 darkness to basically upgrade with the NPC resource director. And so in this case, roughly estimated, it's a little over a third of the way there, and I have about 225 hours in. Each run takes about on average. And so another said 500 plus hours I've collected that amount of resource and darkness. So yeah, it takes a long time to reach that, and there's no trophy for it. This is, for me, is the craziest part about it, is there's no trophy to get the unseen one. I think it's because if it had required unseen one to be a trophy so that you can get a platinum trophy on PlayStation, it would probably fall into the ranks of one of the hardest to get. So yeah, bit of gloating on my side. I have played Hades 1 a lot. If you have the unseen one frame around your health bar, you lost a decent chunk of your life to Hades 1. Pineapple Dealer says, where did my face cam go? It's back on. I rotate between you being able to see my face and not, especially when I'm concentrating on stuff. You know, like I'm Googling and typing. I don't know about you, but I'm one of those people that as I type, I talk in my face, and it's not a good look. But yeah, thanks for spotting that, and I'm back. Cool.
In the name of
Let's keep swimming. Ooh, okay. See, this is very good. So again, I'll take my face out here. So your abilities that can deflect, so remember attack in my case does deflect, also makes foes exposed. And so it means that if I hit them from behind, I do plus 75% backstab damage. It's hard to execute, but as you see I'm rotating around people, there's a good chance that I can actually use that. So we're taking that. Pineapple Dealer says, OMG, oh my god. Pineapple Dealer, I tell you what, if you don't have the Unseen One badge, here's a good idea. Take a month off from work and go and get it. If you do have it, wow, mate, you're an absolute weapon and wasted as much time of your life than I did. I'm going to lie in my bed, hopefully at 80 years old, slowly passing away, going far out. I'm glad I did that, but I could have been doing so much more with my life. Anyway.
I'll destroy you.
Sure, do you see how well I deflected that? Yeah. Bang, deflection. Man, this is really slapping as a build. I'm enjoying it. And I haven't even used my class. See how I'm not scared to get involved in the middle of the fight?
Destroyed as promised.
Yeah.
Good enough to eat.
I think dash is definitely it. Wow, we are spoiled for choice. So as you can see here, I can still do this descend and get powered up Aphrodite. That is hard though, because basically what happens, similar in Hades 2, you've got this little statue you sometimes run into, and basically it'll give you a little upgrade if you can beat the particular monster without taking any damage. In that scenario, you can take a little bit of damage. And in this scenario, you can take 0 damage. You take 1 hit, bang, you get a onion for your trouble. But unfortunately, with my up close and personal build that I'm running now, it's not a good idea. Also, we can descend to chaos. There's probably something in there that's super juicy, but here I get 2 boons, so it's a no-brainer. Might get back on the grind then. Pineapple Dealer, do me a flavor fave. If you do go for it, go to my website, which is nextleveljj.com. Go there, sign up, communicate in some way with me, mentioning that you're Pineapple Dealer, and then let me know as you progress through this. I would love to, when you reach that point, because unfortunately in the world we live in, most people have no idea what the Unseen One is. And even then in the Hades community, there's not a lot of people that know it too. And so when you achieve that, it is a badge of freaking honor. And it needs to be shouted out from the topmost points. You know, I put it as my Facebook profile picture for a while, and nobody understood it. Anyway. Alright, where are we? Alright. Okay, so tricky one. Who do we piss off? Generally, Aphrodite, she's got a little heart that follows you around, and so you can probably dash away from that, whereas with Ares, he pops up at places and is definitely harder to beat, so we will go for Ares. Okay, Doomafix, deal more damage, but take half a second longer to activate. This is extremely good, because remember, we're trying to aim for that deal boon, which I'll quickly refer to here. The deal boon, which means that, which one is it? Is this one, yeah. The Doom effects continuously strike weak foes. Now if you have a more powerful Doom, it's going to make even more damage happen, which is a really shitty way of saying get impending doom. But it does mean that initially it's going to take a little bit longer to hurt them, but damn, 60%. Okay, now we've got to run away.
Don't ever take me for some thoughtless nymph to be manipulated, dearest. I expect reciprocal devotion from you. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am. Whatever you want, I'll give it to you. Pineapple Dealer, where in the world are you joining us from? Okay, and run!
Let this go.
Oh, he's got a shield. So we do. Oop, you see, she got me ready. Gotta keep away from her. So far, so good. She's keen on hooking up.
It's regenerating.
Whoa. Whew. Tell you what. This run is keeping me on my toes.
Kissed and made up, dearest. Just do not anger me again, or I might come down and kill you there myself.
I guess it's a date. Ooh. They're both good. Both being Dying Lament and Sweet Surrender. So, Dying Lament is fantastic, especially when you get to the stage where you have all the rats in it. Watching from Norway. Whoa, Norway. Whoa, man. Norway's cool. I've been to Oslo. It's freaking cool. And it's really cool right now, I can imagine. Also, desperately wanted to get more north into Norway. Summertime and see the fjords, but wintertime, a friend of mine went up into the Arctic Circle and just said it's an experience of a lifetime. So Norway is very high up on my list to go again. But yeah, I did go to Oslo and I had a really, really good time there, actually. Let's just check this out. Let's go images and go over here. So for those who don't know, Oslo is a stunning city in Norway. You know, really cool design architecture. I've actually been at a few of these places. I actually had a client in Oslo. That's why I went there. But very similar to Copenhagen, you know, in this juxtaposition between something modern, but something with very, very old Viking history. Oslo ski jump. Yeah. So that's quite cool. At the top of one of the points in Oslo, they've got this massive ski jump, as you can see there. It's really cool. I was very fortunate. I had a hotel room booked right next to it, so I went and checked that out. It was cool. So, yeah, man, Oslo is freaking awesome. Question, have you ever been to New Zealand? You know, I think there's a lot of similarities between Norway and New Zealand. We're at the ends of the planet. We've got stunning mountain ranges and so forth. So if you haven't, come on down. Plus, it's getting warmer here now. It's quite nice. And if you're a Lord of the Rings fan, heading to Alberton this weekend. Okay, anyway, back to this. Dying Lament is excellent because when you basically kill one bad guy, little rat, it explodes, and it can sometimes create this sort of runaway effect, like just, you know, suddenly they just all kill each other. But again, our mind is on killing Hades at the end, and so this is not going to be useful. What is useful, even though it's quite low, is weak, affected people get more damage. That's what we go for.
I feel fabulous.
Wow. I'm exhibiting some amazing English at the moment. Weak affected people are taking like 10% more damage. And there I showed my South Africanism. Again, health is going to be important, so we'll do that. We're in Norway, by the way. Are you in Oslo or are you further afield? How tiny is that fountain? Oh, there's a fish. See, so let's look about 2 to 3 meters above that fish and you'll see a white line appear. Like that. I was in between mines so I wasn't concentrating heavily, but as you can see, that was bang, instant. Alright, let's get back into it. I don't need money at this point. And then just let them die. I must say, I'm really liking this team. I'm definitely taking more damage, but it's not hurting as much because remember, they are weak. So I'm taking 30% less damage.
What's regenerating?
Yeah, that's right.
He's fully recovered.
Man, my freaking hands are getting tired. Again, it'd be so cool if you could see all the buttons I'm pushing because it's almost like Tekken where you're just like smashing buttons randomly, but it's not random. There is some thought behind this. Pineapple says Stavanger, which is West Norway city. So interesting. So that'll be roughly towards the coast. Sorry, we're going to do it again, but I'd love to actually see because some of the cities in Norway are bananas. So here we go. I hope you don't mind us stalking you on the interwebs, Mr. Pineapple. But as you guys can see here, what a cool place. What? Look at that. That's amazing. And again, such a, I think the term juxtaposition might be the right one because it's in between, you know, some stuff that are very old. Like in Copenhagen, there's a particular area where you've got these beautiful colored buildings and they're hundreds of years old. So it's super cool. And there we go. So if anybody wants to know where Pineapple is in the world, he's here. And very cool. We can zoom out and see where in the world. Yes, so on the western coast, there's Denmark, there's United Kingdom. So the Arctic Circle would be above here. So not completely crazy, but still, you're so high up in the summertime, the sun barely, it doesn't really set. But also then in the winter, it means that it's pretty dark a lot of the time. Anyways, cool little journey there to Norway. And when I get up there eventually, because I lived in Denmark for 5 years, so lived in Copenhagen. And didn't get over to Norway as much as I'd like to. So definitely next time I'm getting up there, I'm going to go for a trip up north. Who knows? Maybe we can meet up with the pineapple dealer and get a bit of a tour of Stavanger, or however I pronounce that. Okay, where are we? Yes, a duo boon. Your cast gains any bonuses you have from striking foes from behind. Okay. The resistance from traps is very good, especially against Hades at the end. But what's good about Parting Shot is, remember, my cast is basically spinny, spinny, spinny. And if I drop the cast, move past the bad guy, they're going to turn their back to my cast and focus on me. And so they'll get bonus damage. So. See, so do that, and then I'm at the front of the bad guy. It's not an exact science. Right, where are we within the amount of chambers? So, chamber 34, that means, top right, if you don't know, that means that I am now going to go and face off against the next level boss. And so I've got a lot of money, even though I'd love to spend it on Ares. We're going to go to the shop. I missed the little fountain.
Must have slept.
Considering the time of year, Pineapple, it's probably already snowing, I guess, in Stavanger. Okay, Aphrodite. Oh, please give us the continuously striking duo boon.
Cheers, mate.
Boom. Do we roll? We roll.
Hey, got anything else?
Let me do some research here. Let me make sure that I can get that. See, we already got this one. What we're after, which you can see there on the right, it actually shows you we already got Curse of Pain and we got Passion Dash, which means we can get this. And that's the dream one for us. Doom effects continuously strike weak foes. We roll for it. We roll for it. Usually I wouldn't do a 2 roll, but...
got anything else?
Oh, boo! Boo! Okay, fine. Broken Resolve it is.
I'm all worked up.
Yeah.
Don't spend it all in one place, mate.
Okay. That's such a juicy one. Okay, so we got to rewire ourselves because we're about to face off against 2 Guardians. And because we've set our pain, as I call it, to 16, it means that they are quite powerful. And so what we are going to do is we're going to drop our companion right at the start. Alright, does 1,000 damage. And you mostly do it because you want health and stuff. And because that's one of the few times that they're in the same spot. I'm just wondering now, should I save it for later? It's slit pretty warm here, about 10 degrees. Okay. 10 degrees, that ain't that warm, but I guess, you know, it's not as far north, so. Alright. Cool. And interestingly, one of the Guardians we're going to face off now has purposefully made the most annoying one, you know, from a personality perspective, so love kicking his ass. You know what? We'll get straight into it. We'll drop in our companion and take it from there. Alright, here we go. I'm a bit nervous, actually.
Come, Hellspawn, and get destroyed by the 2 greatest fighters in Elysium.
By the way, as I read Pineapple Dealers, it's slit pretty warm. I expect that the L and the T's needed to be swapped around, so it's still... That's an interesting way of writing that. Okay, come Hellspawn, get destroyed, 2 greatest fighters for Elysium. You're annoying. I'm going to try and slap the crap out of you. Interesting enough, the game strat that I've learned is you actually focus on the bull first, and then it makes it a little bit easier to face off against Theseus in the end. But we'll see how we go. Anyway. Okay, decent start. Just be careful, because he will do more damage.
Cower uncontrollably, you monster, for there's naught else you can do against my might.
Really? It's been a while. Oof. Ow. Gotta remember to use my cast.
Not yet. I can't.
Ow. I've got to be careful. It's not easy. Yeah, this guess is a precursor to the Hades fight at the end. See that? Got to be so quick. Is he triple jumping? Yep, double jump. And there's the one that I can't move in because the bombs are being dropped. Good chunk of damage there. Oh no, bad place. Now, I understand that in some funny circles, pineapple is a safe word. And so are you a safe word dealer, Mr. Pineapple Dealer?
I guess they're testing me.
Oh yeah, I had to take that hit. I haven't really upgraded my dashes yet. Cool. Lethos is dead. And then bang.
That ought to make Theseus shut it for a a bit.
Who says men can't multitask? I was busy fighting 2 bad guys and made a really terrible joke about pineapple dealer being a safe word dealer.
Pure darkness.
All right. Now, I did mention this earlier. When playing Hades 2, there's a lot of nostalgia. There's a lot of things they added in that, you know, kind of go, yeah, that was something that I loved about Hades 1. There were 2 moments that I actually got choked up a little bit emotional. One was when I finally found my dad, but the second one was when I found my ultimate fan, my greatest fan. And so that's a little nod. A lot of people will notice it when they're playing this game. And so basically you'll notice there all of the ghosts that are there. They're a particular color and they're supporting, you know, the guys that I just beat. But then you'll notice there's a little banner with my face on it.
Hello, supportive shade.
And this is my greatest fan. So little nod to it. Very cool in Hades 2 that you can actually find it and then bring it back home with you. So very cool. Okay, took a lot of damage there.
You shades enjoy yourselves.
But that's why we pumped up our health a lot. And the good news is we can get a lot of that back. Now I'm just thinking, from a keepsake perspective, you definitely enjoy using the Palm Blossom here because you do a lot of encounters, so you upgrade a lot. But as we saw, I got slapped. And I'm just scared that with Hades it's going to be more of that. So let's see if there's something. This will add more to my life total. That's pretty good. Less damage from the front, which I guess is where I'll be focusing most of it. That's not useful. Okay, yeah, that's if I'm lower health. Yeah, that's not useful. And these are all the boons for the gods. Ooh, you see, that's going to be very useful. Okay, so in the final encounter, in each underworld region, so basically when I'm facing off against the boss, I'll take 0 damage from the first 5 times foes hit you. I'm not 100% sure if that means facing off against Hades. Well, if you're unsure, do some research. So we'll trans over to here and we'll ask. So, and see, that's why you don't want to see the camera, you don't want to see my face. Yes. So the evergreen acorn protects you from taking damage for the first few hits you receive from the boss you're fighting, and the number depends on the acorn level. Wonderful! Alright. We take the evergreen acorn. I'd like to see myself the first 5 hits, which when he's facing off against Hades in his ultimate spec can really do a lot of damage, and so it just gives me a little leg up. Cool. Not too fussed about restoring that because it should heal as I move through. Okay, let's go.
That was Elysium.
Yeah, Elysium. Glad to see the end of that. Cool, bit of gold.
Just to get through Cerberus up there.
Pineapple dealer.
Shiny.
Do you agree with me? This particular in between the levels area has always been so interesting to me. Because you see, it's really well designed. There's a lot of gears turning, and that, you know, kind of alludes a bit to Chronos, I guess. But I always wondered if there's some secret to this. Like if there's something that you have to do to unlock a secret special area. And I assume the answer is no, because I think I've googled it and I haven't found anything. But wouldn't it have been cool if there was some combination, like if you hit this gear once, this gear twice, stood here, I don't know, you know, threw something at the right time, it would unlock some secret. I think that's maybe a thing I want to say to Supergiant Games. I find that the secrets in this game is lacking. You know, check behind the waterfall stuff. You know, like this is a prime place where they could have definitely put in something. Anyways, I digress. Let's go kill some rats. Cool, no fish. Let's see what we have over here. Okay, so that's good news because that means I get one more bite of the potential dew boon we were looking for, cherry. We get 2 opportunities. Okay, so let's go. Firstly, I only have one change that I can do. What is the thing I need the least here? They're all pretty good, actually. Especially because I've got low money, so we'll just keep all of them. All right, Aphrodite, we're on our way. Oh, I hate these poison dudes. Interesting when you play Hades 1 and you go through these rat stages, it's actually a very good way of seeing how powerful your build is. Like if you can just absolutely slash through these bad guys, it shows that you're in a good position. And as you can see there, I just kind of walk through them. Some builds are just so mental that you just push a button and everything just dies. Not the case here, but not bad. We can just continuously strike them with a dew boon. Man. Rats. Cool. Let's go. Who are we facing?
It's one big satyr.
Yep, that was pretty good. Please. Yes. Hell yeah. Doom effects continuously strike weak foes. The only thing that can make this better is if I have this and I have the stackable Doom, which means that you can add multiple Doom effects to a person before it runs out. But this is huge. Because we firstly have a level 5 Curse of Pain, so that's 181 Doom damage. That comes down. Then we have Impending Doom, which means that it takes longer. But remember, we don't care about the time anymore. It's 80%. So let's just make it 100% to make it easy math. So that's 181 times 2. That's going to go bang, bang, bang. And so, fantastic. You jump in. And also remember, we inflict weak, which also gives a 10% more damage. So basically, I come in, do a bit of weak damage, make them weak, and then they just get slapped by this. Oh, when you get a good build going, Hades 1, Hades full stop, is the Shizzle-manizzle. Look it up, Shizzle-manizzle is the technical term. So let's see if I can show you how that works. Ah, rats. So watch, they keep getting hit. Not useful showing against small things that die instantly. I need something with a little bit more meat. So, see, he's not weak. Now he's weak. Okay, so 1, 2, yeah. Pretty good. I was a bit disappointed that, yeah, that's maybe a bit of a flaw in the design. Because when I dash, it does that. But when I dash an upper, it didn't seem like it inflicted weak. Which is not fair, if that's the case. And if that is the case, then I'm going to have to first dash inflict weak, then dash upper, which... that's village. Hey, see, that worked. See, so slap, 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 and then Maymins. No, that worked. Yep, no, that worked. Hitting my face is in the way. But there we go. Okay, so it does work. Good news.
Found it already.
Cool.
A whole entire sack of something.
Yeah. And bang. 345. That's probably the highest I've ever had from a health perspective.
Get me out of here.
So it's pretty good. Hey Pineapple, if you're still there, I asked the question earlier, what is one of your favorite Hades 1 builds? You know, obviously we're running aspect of Gilgamesh now. But yeah, which one's one of your favorites? And if you're not Pineapple, if you're watching this after the fact, let me know. It's always fun. Maybe tell me what your favorite Hades 2 build is as well, because that's something I want to focus on next. You know, I've sort of reached the end now of Hades 2 from a storyline perspective. I'm sure there's still a lot to go. But now it's like, okay, let's try and do a super OP build and see if we can do speed runs and stuff. So let me know what your favorite builds are. Okay. More Ares. Yeah, that was stupid. Beautiful. It does damage. Oop, that's stuck there. Just die, please. I hate poison. I was such a chicken there. It's like I just didn't want to get poisoned. Alright, here we go. By the way, I do think what I'm going to try here, I've set up a new light to counterbalance the light that I'm getting from the back. But I don't know why, but it gives an unnatural look here. I know it's, you know, a bit vain to stare at yourself like this, but I just want to see what it, you see, without, the camera does do a white balance, and that's maybe a configuration I can do with the camera, which by the way is pretty rubbish. Oh, it's good, but it could be a DSLR, which I definitely want to get. But you see, so this looks more natural, but I get a Harvey Two-Face look. If I turn it on, you get that. Let's see, as I crank it up, I guess that looks better. Except now, I'm getting blinded. Anyway, first world problems. We will bat on with that. Okay, more Ares. See, they're just taking damage. That's going to be very useful against Hades. I'm basically going to just run away from Hades. Leave him to die. Bit messy. I forgot the meta of this stage a little bit. Okay, what are we after here? So before I go in, just so that if we get it, we can just say this is one of the most fantastic runs from a I ask and I get perspective. What we're after is this one. Engulfing Vortex. Your Blade Rift effects last longer and pull foes in. Again, I don't think it's useful against Hades, but against other things, it just brings things into the middle. And remember, we want to have backstab damage, so that's not too bad. Let's see. Let's see. Yes. Yes. Fantastic. Now, we did mention that it'd be really good to have Dire Misfortune, so you can stack them on top of each other. And I did say this won't help against Hades, so let's do Dire Misfortune. So it means that if I smack him with some Doom, and then I smack him with some more Doom, then is bonus damage for each stack. So it's not a lot, but then remember there's a percentage on top of that, so I'll take that. Cool. So we got what we wanted. Actually, we got both boons that we wanted. I mean, this is just the most luckiest run. That's because I'm streaming. So I'm going to close my eyes for this one.
There.
See? Genuinely works. You just got to be careful. Because I'm playing with the controller, it does have a vibration effect every time the fish yanks at the lure. And so you can get suckered by that. But yeah, keep your ears closed. Keep your ears closed. Keep your eyes closed. And listen for the soothing sound of a fish. Yeah, that's pretty violent. Never mind. It's not a real fish. Fish being caught. Okay. We don't need these, but might as well. Cool. See? Stacking that Doom. To be fair, that wasn't the best one, actually, but...
Don't do that.
This is useful. So, what we're going to get from this is, firstly, I get an additional cost. So I'm not going to do the final stage with the money. But an additional cost will make a big difference. Then this. It's possible, when you fight Hades, there's lots of little monsters that sometimes run around, especially at the start. And having them drop a little bit of life can make a big difference. The only problem is with me having so much life, it's probably not going to make that much damage. Anyway, we'll take it. See? Health. Let's see how much that was. 254.
5-second rule.
Yeah.
5 seconds, right?
And that is something we miss in Hades 1. Melanui in Hades 2, she's not funny necessarily. She's just smart and elegant, and you know, Zagreus has a lot of these quips, these cute little lines like 5-second rule. That's great. I miss that.
Am I interrupting something?
Yeah, that was stupid. That's stupid times 2. But I got some life back. get poisoned again? Damn. Did I mention I hate poison? I really hate poison. Ow. Ooh. That was not good.
The power of the gods.
Yeah, now that we've got extra costs. Yeah. That was not good. I lost a lot of health there. Anyways, there's only one way and it's forward.
Should I go fight some satyrs to get out of here?
Yeah, that's okay. Cool, so...
Should come in useful.
Ooh, yeah, baby. Again, we're so lucky this run. Unhealthy fixation, which is what I have with Aphrodite. In Hades 2. Your weak effects also have a 15% chance to charm foes. Alright? Charm, 4 seconds, they turn into your ally, they fight for you. And so, very useful. Not so sure how useful it is against Hades, but I also understand that I can charm Hades, hopefully. Cool. We lost a lot of health and got 25 back. Sorry. Notice the statue.
The prince persuades the underworld's ferocious guardian to move aside.
Thanks, boy.
Right. Are we ready? Okay. Don't take any chances. That is the motto. Stay clear. Get through the first phase.
Think you can beat me this time, Father?
Our last exchange left much to be desired for my part, but this time we shall see.
No! Oh, crap! A little bit of poop came out there, I'm not gonna lie. It's been a while since I've played him, so... Oh my god! Problem is we don't have a lot of dash speed and power. So it's just a matter of time before I get hit. Ow! It didn't hit. But we got some health. See? Useful. Okay, who are we facing off against? Oop. Bit of damage there. Where did that go? Tell you what, we're getting a workout, that's for sure. Whoa! Stop token, focus, focus. Oh no, it's not what we needed. See, he's not getting weak effects. Damn! Yeah, I'd love to.
Upon my name, I order all you wretches of the underworld to attend me now.
All shall soon decay.
My foster sister must have benefits to me. You brought this on yourself.
Yeah, it's not easy, man. Seriously, Aspect of Gilgamesh is not an easy final boss kill for sure. And I mean, we've got a freaking good one. No, 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 no. Ah, see, and I'm just not fast enough. See? Oh. Yeah, I took a chance there. Yeah, that should kill him. That was so stupid. What am I doing? Oh my goodness.
Let's finish this then.
We won't finish it. It's level 4.
Try that again.
Okay, let's get out of here. Oof.
Blasted little.
No. I think we kept him relatively within. Oh, how did I not get hit there?
You brought this on yourself.
Yeah, I'm sure I did.
You'll burn. Death is inescapable.
Ah, did I make it? Oh, yes. Oh man. Okay.
Where go, Sisyphus?
Why, Master Hades, sir?
Beware of winter's cold.
tricky. My finger slipped on the controller. If I do make this, this will be one of the most amazing... Whoa, whoa, whoa. Stop talking, start concentrating. Oh no. Okay. Yeah, tell me about it. Last chance. That was stupid. No, he's respawning again. No. This is bad. Damn it. Oh, so hard. It doesn't need to be this hard. Oh, man, that was intense.
I'll get you for this, Father.
Right. So, that was truly intense, and definitely a little bit of panic set in. But it's really hard because the only way I'm doing damage to him is by getting up close and punching him. And in my opinion, this build it was a lot of fun, super cool, but not one of my favorites for sure. At level 16, it's actually really easy to beat Hades. And I'll one day show, I've got other builds that I'll show, where I'll beat him without losing a life. Hell, basically not being touched. And that's because you're just avoiding him and just boom, 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 boom. So this is a hardcore build. Now the marker's been set. I wonder if I can ever 32 level that. But yeah, there we go. Okay. Yeah, hey, what's happening, buddy? Oh, I was so close. If you imagine, like, if I just, ooh, you know what? There was that one item I could have taken that if you lose one life, you do 30% damage, and that's how much we needed to beat him by. So, anyway, you can't win them all, and so in this case, we didn't.
Him again.
Hello,
I have to
girlfriend.
say, I like what you and Dusa did for this place.
Thank you. Yeah, we'll work
This is not here. Here's what I caught lately.
Some fish.
Use them wisely, my friend.
All right. Okay, so where does that put us, team? So I definitely want to say this has been a lot of fun. I've really enjoyed it. Of course, having a hardcore hectic build in Hades 1 that required my right hand to develop new muscles. There we go, check that out. Oh, look at that. It was intense. But again, Hades 1 and Hades 2 are not that different. Again, like I said at some point, we were running a PlayStation 4 there through a really cheap, bad capture card. It doesn't show the fidelity that Hades 1 has. So I'll definitely at some point get Hades 1 on Steam and see if I can, match the graphics at least. But from a gameplay perspective, they're their own game in a good way, but they borrow the right things from each other. Well, technically Hades just, borrows from Hades 1, but the answer is, can you go back and play Hades 1? Absolutely. If you've not got the unseen one, like Pineapple Dealer figured out, you can go back and grind for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours to get a little gold logo that most people not know the meaning of. But anyway, it was an awesome time. Hades 1 versus Hades 2, I think they're both perfect in their own way, and that's just, as Pineapple Dealer also said, I think that's a massive compliment to Supergiant Games. So yeah, I had a lot of fun, learned that certain builds are tricky, and showed that there's still stuff for me to learn. And by the way, that's another beautiful thing about Hades. No two runs are the same. There's a very, very low chance of it being the same. And so in that case, I thought I had the perfect build. Really, I did. I thought that everything that I needed was beautiful. But clearly, it wasn't good enough. Now, was it me? Or was it the build? Or was it the boons? It happens so often in Hades. If you're new to Hades, you'll experience this. You'll play and you'll get whooped. And you're like, oh, this weapon doesn't suit me. Then you play the exact same weapon, but suddenly you get different boons, and you get something that just makes it 100% more powerful, and suddenly you're kicking ass. So definitely, don't get downbeat if you lose. It's like that fantastic Roger Federer speech that he did, where he said, he lost something like 60% of all the points he's ever played, and if you get hung up on losing a point, you're never going to move forward. And so you lose, you win, and that's the beautiful thing about Hades. You maybe then go and identify what you did wrong and see if there's better ways to do it. So, challenge accepted. Aspect of Gilgamesh, I'm coming back for you ass, and I want to do a 32 on you. But all right, so I think we'll call the stream there. Again, I had a lot of fun. We had some cool people join in, have a bit of a chat. If you're watching this, afterwards, give me some comments. I'd love to hear from you what you thought about this. What are your thoughts on Hades 1 versus Hades 2? And would you like to see me do this again? Should I fire them up again? I'm keen to. Again, shout out to Stream Beats by Harris Heller. Always chill, music just to enter and exit my stream. If you want to learn more about me, you want to see my upcoming schedule, or you want to follow me on my socials, nextleveljj.com. Please, we're building this channel out, and I really need your help. Go and check out my socials. From next week, I'm going to be smacking cool stuff onto the various social networks. Cool pictures, cool thoughts, cool stuff. And so I want you to like it, want you to see it, want you to give feedback on it. Together, we can build something cool. Imagine 2 years from now, nextleveljj.com is one of the top channels, and it builds a community. We regularly have our subscribers, our members meet up, really sort of combine our love for the games. So go and check it out. And then, just most of all, just stay cool, and I hope you have a fantastic day wherever you are. See you soon. Ciao.